just going to go over here.
And now, could you just bring this like that? I'm gonna try that. Let me see. Why don't we have the grotto on this other side?
Yeah, I could do that. Don't worry about that. Don't worry about where you are.
I don't like that angel though, because it should be the angel with her ring, the ring somebody gave her.
Okay, I'll put that here.
At the grotto. You know, I want them to remember that. Oh, that's good.
It sits on the grotto.
That's good.
All right.
That's good.
Okay.
All right, I'm ready.
All right. So you'll hear me start to say hello to people in the chat. So that's what you'll hear next in just a second here, as soon as I fix one thing over here. Hang on. And I'll get to the chat. And if, 1 second, let me just change this. Okay.
John, lower the light, please. John, just lower it, please. Or do something. Turn it. Just turn it. I'm having some trouble with my eyes. Here. Oh, no. Okay. Just push the door back. Push the door back because it's reflecting. The clothes are reflecting on it. Push the door back, please. No, the door towards that.
Okay.
Yeah, that's better. Thank you. Okay.
Okay. And 1 sec. Okay. All right. Now let me get there, and I'm sure we have people coming in now. Hey there. Hi, Tabby. Hi, Little Lady Di. Hi, Jody. Hi, Carol. Flower Girl. How are you? Hi, Simi, Mary Warren, Teacup. Time for a change. How are you? Robin, Carol, Kathy from Texas, Bella Mack, Jeanette. I'm just going to go ahead and introduce. This is Rosemarie D'Alessandro, and she's she's the mother of Joan D'Alessandro, who we've been, talking about. And we're going to let some people get in, and then because everybody's climbing in here, we'll wait till we get to at least, over 100 in here, and then we'll start talking. But Joan lives in Hillsdale, and you live in the same house, right?
Yeah, we live in the same house. This is the original house where 5 of my children were raised. Right,
because they were asking that last night, and I said, yeah, I'm pretty sure you do. And you still a very nice community. You have good community feeling there, and you have the garden that you put in, right? And you have the garage sale. Do you have the garage sale yearly?
Oh, we have it. I've just put my water here. We have it always in the spring. So we call it the yard sale, and this year it's going to be the weekend after Mother's Day if there's no rain. And so that's what we have it every year. We've had it since 2007. That was our first fundraiser.
So you use it as a fundraiser for the foundation, and that helps you take the kids on trips and let them go on trips and events and things like that?
It gets them, that's how we started, and now we do a lot of things, but at that time, 2007, we were helping the children with trips like to the beach and going to a movie, we even made enough money at that time that they went on a week's vacation. But we don't have that right now.
I see. Okay. All right. And Joan's going to talk about some initiatives in the classroom that just started. You have some that started today that we'll talk about. And
it is Joan speaking.
Did I say Joan? Oh my gosh, I'm sorry.
It's Rosemarie and Joan, but it is Joan. Because she's around.
Yeah.
That's so funny.
Oh my gosh, I'm sorry. So Rosemarie is going to tell you about school initiatives that with the books, that she has some books and she can show you out and how to get started in your neck of the woods there, and things you can do, to take action, right? Don't just stand there, do something. I don't think you said that.
Those are the 2 points.
Yeah, 2 points.
Out of my head, I have made no notes, but stand up, do something. And then also, I wanted to let you know, everybody, how you can contact me. you know, so this way, you know, you contact me with some of the things that I'm talking about that might help you, or you might have some other questions, or you might want to talk to me about something
Mm-hmm.
that could help you, because you'll see some of the tricks that I use, or some of the ways I use that could help, that help me.
Excellent.
And there, you know, we all have different personalities, but some of the things are all about the same that help us. And
Right.
those are the kind of things, you know,
Mm-hmm.
just to be able, you know, to, you know, care for people, to be able to laugh, be able to, you know, look people in the eye and say, you know, I'll listen to you.
Mm-hmm.
So any personality can do that. Any personality.
Sure, sure. That'll be great. So, you know, I mean, you had, you've gone through an unbelievable tragedy, right? Losing your daughter. I mean, it's enough to knock somebody just down for the count, but you didn't stay down, right? You just,
I stay down.
no. And that's really admirable that you pushed, you know, through that. And I mean, it's incredible what you've done. It really is. You're an incredible woman, incredibly strong.
Well, I'm not the only incredible person. There are other people that do extraordinary things. Yes, I do understand. I do extraordinary things, but I do it with the inspiration of Joan, and then I also believe in the higher power. With
Mhm.
me, it's God.
Right.
So that I tell you the truth is a very big help too. But that doesn't mean that like I'll go around, you know, like wearing on my sleeves. It's just it's in me. It's in, you know, I could feel it.
Mm-hmm.
And tonight before I came out here, I says, okay, so, you know, I'm going. And I says, you know, just, yeah, God help me a little bit. Don't help me.
Yeah.
And, you know, something like that. So that made me get over like the little butterflies I was having inside.
Yeah, I did too. I did too. I saw.
Little butterflies too?
Yeah, I did. Believe it or not, because I do this every night. But I said, "Oh my gosh!" And I saw your daughter's picture at the foundation page, and I said, "Joan, please help us
Little
tonight."
butterflies.
Yeah.
So I was starting to do, I was doing like body like relaxation, and I was doing, that's what I was doing, because I couldn't think of anything like in meditation, but I started my feet, and I said, oh, that feels good.
Yeah. Well, you know, after this, like I said, we do leave it up. And then your son can show you where the video is, so you can read the chat because everybody's saying, you know, hello, Rosemary. You know, we're inspired by your work and everything. So they're all saying very nice things. But so let's just for a minute, you know, in 1973, it was Holy Thursday, right? And the kids went to Catholic school and they were off, right? And your older son and daughter were off at a friend's houses or something.
Okay, well, Marie, 1 year older than Joan.
Mm-hmm.
Frankie, 2 years older than Joan. So Marie went to softball.
Oh,
And
softball.
Frankie on the other like the other side of Clinton Avenue, which is also Florence Street where we live,
Mm-hmm.
and he was at a friend's. And then Joan was she was outside playing in the front.
Right.
In '73, everything was very free.
Oh yeah.
Kids would play outdoors. They'd play in the
Sure.
street. They would go to a neighbor's house. They would be there, and
Right.
everybody just lived that way. Kids would come to my house, and you know it was just okay. You meet your friend on the street. They stop and they stay over 2 hours.
Right.
So it was very free. So she was out there, and I remember I was sitting in the chair in the living room, the chair in front of the railing. In fact, I have that chair downstairs. Of course, that's from upholstery. But that chair, I remember it was the, now I'm in this chair, but it was right here, because on the left side. And, but this happened even before, this is something I want to share, before she went out there. This is the last time I really spoke to her. So she was about 4'3",
Mm-hmm.
and she was 7.5. She was tall. I'm tall to get the man is, and she was about like here, and she was telling me something that she was like not happy with, and we were just talking about it, and and at that time I answered. It was a good answer, all the time. Sometimes we feel rushed, but I know I liked the way I answered her that time.
Mm-hmm.
So then going back to where she was, on the grass playing. She was just playing in the floor. I don't know. She was just playing, in the chair. She comes in, opens the front door very, very quickly, and says, "I saw the new car." She said, she took they had a carrying case, Girl Scout carrying case,
Mm-hmm.
and there were only 2 boxes of cookies there. And those 2 boxes of cookies had to be delivered
Right.
because previously her sister and her had gone out together,
Mm-hmm.
and I told them they could only sell cookies in a 4-block radius. So they didn't have that many cookies they sold.
Right.
Because just to be part of the Girl Scout troop, they're having this fundraiser,
Sure.
and not to be like, just so isolated from it,
Mm-hmm.
and give their part. So anyway, what happened was there was 2 left because there was no one home at that house.
Right.
So she just saw that it was very quick. She just went, and she was the kind of little child, girl. She would just want to get the job done.
Yeah. Get it done.
wasn't,
Right. Yeah.
"Oh, I gotta wait for my sister to do it," that kind of thing. Because then I don't want to just be doing it.
Right.
I don't want to do all the work, that kind of thing. And then I think it made her feel big. She was a big girl.
Right.
Remember, she's the youngest of the 3. So she did that, and she says, "I'll be right back." I says, "Goodbye, Joan. I'll be right back." She said, "Goodbye, Mommy. I'll be right back."
Mm-hmm.
And then I was young. I was married young. I was young. And last thing I was thinking of was, that I never see her again.
Of course. Yeah.
In a matter of seconds. And then she went there, and he killed her. He lured her down. He lured her down, and she was told not to go in people's houses.
Mm-hmm.
But he said, I knew how to do it. I knew how to get her. I know how to do it.
Right.
And he lured her down the stairs. This bi-level house like we have.
Mm-hmm.
That means you have 2 levels. And it's not like colonial.
Right. It's a landing, and there's up and down.
Yeah,
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. So up here.
Mm-hmm.
And then he was, he did, it was, she fought.
Yeah.
Fought. And he,
He assaulted her, and yeah, he battled. Yeah.
He just,
He was
I don't know
a
how he
monster.
raped her. I don't know exactly how he raped her, but he did rape
Mm-hmm.
her.
Yeah.
And then after that, he did try strangling, and then what he did that was so horrible, and he was just so controlled by this sense of, just such anger. He wanted this power, he wanted control, he wanted domination. He took her like a rag doll, and he took her by the feet, and he slammed her.
Yeah, it's terrible. It's horrible. Yeah, he's a monster. I mean, terrible. I mean, we read about that. It's horrible. Yeah.
But it's no big deal that I'm getting this way. It's okay.
Are you okay?
I'm fine.
Okay.
In fact, everybody, if you ever have tears and you want to, stop them, you just look up over here at the forehead, at your hairline, and your forehead, and it works, right?
Okay.
And
Okay.
it just works. So no worries.
Okay.
So now I'm going to explain. So then he took her and he slammed her so hard, her head, and it was so hard that everything just cracked. Then after that, he put her, like wrapped her in a rug, and he put her in a bag. He came back, he saw her moving again, he strangled again. He strangled her again. And then she finally died. And, but she really hasn't died, everybody. She hasn't.
No.
She hasn't. She hasn't.
No.
And she is more alive today with her legacy and the signs that you get and the spirit that she has than it was like at the beginning, you know?
Mhm. Yeah.
So I'm so thankful that I had the strength and I just didn't sit in my pain. And, you know, I'm so thankful. And then what if nothing was going to be done, nothing is going to be done, there will never be a legacy. Now this legacy starts with Joan and it goes all around the world to help lots of children.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that's what she loved because she was for social justice too. Even you could tell.
Right.
She loved people. Her dance teacher said she was a leader. Her second grade teacher said she was a social butterfly. But there's one thing, Joan did not like math. And she had this book on the front book of the math book, and she made a face with the tongue, and she said, "I hate you, math."
I hate math, yeah.
I hate you, math. So, I mean, that was in her favor.
Right,
And
right.
so, you know, she understood. She understood about herself already. And she had no problem saying that.
Mm-hmm.
Because she would make it like a joke. She wouldn't take herself all seriously.
Right.
So then, you know, then that was Holy Thursday.
And so it was a couple of hours, you said, and then the piano lesson was coming from Marie, right? And
Yeah. Then that was about 5:15. And then what happened was Mrs. Lord, she was the piano teacher for Marie. Joan was going to take piano lessons.
mm-hmm.
She was going to take them on her birthday, September 7th, when she would be 8 years old. And Joan picked up music she could play songs without looking at music. So it was very like something she loved. And
Right.
You could see it was innate.
Mm-hmm.
And so then the teacher came, and I told her I was worried. And she says, "Oh, you know how the kids, they're running around here the way it is with the kids. Oh, don't worry." But I started worrying, and it wasn't going to stop.
Right.
And then you know.
You made some phone calls, right? Yeah.
And then, you know, the children, Frankie and Marie, called some of their friends. And
nobody had seen her, right? No one had seen her?
No one had seen her.
No. And then your husband got home, and then
then he got home at 5:45, called up the police department, and then, you know, then they found out then. And then what happened was, is it about 6:50, I went over to the house
mm-hmm.
because I knew how my children were trained.
Right.
And I had a feeling something happened there. So I went, and what I did, I went up the stairs, I knocked at the door, I said, her father didn't want to come with me, so I asked Frankie, "Frankie, you come, but you stay out, you stay, you know, away from the door, but I want you there, okay?" So this way, that, you know, I wasn't all by myself.
Right.
But he wasn't like near the door, and so, but he was
with you, yeah.
Yeah, he was watching mommy. So then, but he didn't know how I was thinking, you know.
But did you? What were you thinking? Did you think
I was
that
thinking that something happened there.
you thought he did something at that point?
Yeah, because I knew how my children were
Mm-hmm.
trained. I knew that she was just going there for the cookies, and then I figured after that she went to Tamara's house
Mm-hmm.
and probably met somebody on their bicycles and started to play,
Mm-hmm.
you know, that kind of thing, because that's what they would do.
Right.
But I thought that happened. Because, you know, if I would have gone 10 minutes after to see where she was, I would have seen it after being dead.
Right. He did it right away. Yeah.
Right.
So, but before you called, like when you first started saying, "Hey, where's Joan?" Right? Were you thinking at that point she's just at a friend's house? She just stopped somewhere. You didn't think something terrible happened yet, right?
At that time, I was worried because I knew that, you know, why isn't she coming back?
Right.
But then I remembered, you know, other times that happened, and then she was playing with a friend or something.
Right. Right.
And then we met somebody, and her being the social butterfly, definitely, you know, she would be doing that.
Right. So after you started making the calls, then you started to get a little more panicked that something isn't right.
I was panicked when I said to Mrs. Lorch.
Yeah.
I said no. I said this is too much.
Mm-hmm.
This is 2 hours. This is like an hour and 45 minutes.
Right.
You know? And then when I went into the house, he entered the door, and I went in. I went to the foyer.
Right.
You know.
Yeah.
And I said, I'm going there because I know Joan's footsteps were on that foyer.
Mm-hmm.
And I believed my footsteps were the only ones that were going to be over hers, except for his, you know, being in another area.
Right.
Mine came from the front door, the steps that you come from the front door to go into the foyer.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, you know, so then, you know, yes, I went over her footsteps, and I said to him, "Did you see Joan?" And he told me no. He said, "I didn't see Joan," and he was really close. You see where I am right here?
Right.
So he was like right here.
Wow.
I'm both standing up. Okay. So I'm 5'9.5". He's about maybe 6'2" or so.
Yeah, 6'2", I think.
I'm here and he's here.
Right.
Okay. All right. So with my eye, so I could see him pretty, you know, a lot, and I really went enough close to his face because I was trying, I wanted to see really
Right.
what he was doing, and then he looked very, very calm, but there was something that was so stiff. It was so stiff. Then at that time though, I see this big, the fire engine looked to me like the biggest fire engine I ever saw in my life, but it was a regular sized fire engine.
Right.
But to see it in front of the house, and I said, oh my God, I said, my life is never going to be the same.
So you were convinced something terrible happened at that very time.
And remember, I'm facing him.
Yeah.
And then I got little tears.
Right.
Not much, just little tears. You know what he did? He went up the stairs.
While you were on the foyer.
When I was there getting little tears.
He wanted to get away from you.
He went up the stairs, and so up the steps, so that maybe is 8 steps or so.
Mm-hmm.
And then up there, on the part like where your foyer is.
Right.
Outside the kitchen.
Yeah.
And what he did was, then I'm noticing he's looking so fresh, like when you come out of a shower.
Mm-hmm.
He looked like he just came out of a shower. And he had something he was smoking, or pretending, like in his finger. But really it wasn't smoking. He had something in his finger, like, just pretending he was smoking.
Mm-hmm.
And,
but he wasn't nervous or anything. He wasn't acting jittery or nervous or...
He was very tense. He was very cold. He had no expression. He had nothing. It looked like it didn't matter that I was there, you know, asking about my child, and that I was getting upset,
Right.
that the fire truck was there. He was just controlling everything, all his feelings.
But he didn't even say to you, like, is Joan missing? He didn't ask he didn't ask like, why you were there asking if Joan came there, right? So that would be a normal response, right?
Nothing.
You know, especially with the fire truck coming, you know, is something wrong? Is Joan missing? Is that what he would normally ask if he really had nothing to do with it, right?
The
So,
only thing he said, no, I didn't see Joan. I didn't see her. That was it. That's the only thing he ever said to me. That's a good question.
yeah, because he just acted that's like what they say when, you know, when they're interviewing somebody that's killed their spouse or something, and they don't ask how the spouse died or anything about them because they know, but they don't realize that they shouldn't be responding like that. So, I mean, if he had nothing to do with it, he would say, oh my gosh, Mrs. D'Alessandro, is she missing? You know, what's going on? Can I help? He's supposed to be a teacher that cares about children, right? Wouldn't he then immediately ask you why you're there asking where your daughter is?
He didn't even try to fake it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's very telling. So you must
When
have,
I left, I knew he had done
you knew it then.
it. Yeah. Even though I always kept 2% hope.
Yeah.
So then, I mean, I'm going down the street because it's 3 houses down on the other side of the block, and it's a corner house, and I'm going around the corner coming towards my house, which is 3 houses away. And I knew he'd done it, but of course I didn't let on. I did not let on to Frankie, and you know, I mean, I didn't, you know, it's a lot because a little child, a young child, and they're kind of, you know, they're still innocent, you know, kind of innocent at that age.
They were only 9 and 8 years old, right? Because they were,
they get, they're 8.5, 9.5. They get it, but they don't get it, you know. Like that's, you know, at that age. So, you know, and then, but I knew it, and then it was that fire truck. Oof. I said, okay, now we gotta do something.
And that fire truck was taking people down to the reservoir to search. Where was it?
All I know is the fire truck came there. I guess that was the first time. That was the first stop they made.
Okay.
Was us. And they see the door open, and, you know, see me, and then, you know, see me.
And then they brought the dogs, right? The dogs came Thursday night?
The dogs came at about, like, after 9, and so there was this German Shepherd came in with the K-9 team, with the state trooper, and said, you know, do you have something of Joan's?
Right.
So I said, well, I could go and get something. So I gave them the underwear, and I gave it to the dog. And then the dog was very watchful of me. And the dog was showing me, you know, I'm here for you. I'm going to help you. Because I grew up with animals, they were beagles. I grew up with beagles. But dogs, you could sense when there's something where they're concerned about you. So this dog was, because he sensed, you know, that I was scared.
Right.
Or, you know, like there was, you know, a lot of tension. And then I remembered the dog more than I remember the state trooper. And then we went downstairs. And I remember there was a priest with me, and there was a state trooper, and there was the dog, and there was Rosemarie, the 4 of us. We all went. And the dog led us to that house.
So the dogs hid at that house that her scent was there, that she went.
One dog led us to the house, up those stairs to the front door. Stay there. Let you know his team member know, and then just calmly went down the stairs, went across the lawn, and went in front of the garage.
In front of McGowan's garage?
Yeah. To say, this is what I smell. This is where Joan was.
Okay. Is that what got them to question him more?
Oh, I'm sure. But I also said, when I came back from over there, I told the detective that was there, I said, he did it. I told the detective. That's what I
Right.
said.
And
And
so,
I wasn't upset. I was just very, very tense. But I said, he did it. He did it. And I knew he did it.
right,
But
and then
I
they
didn't move
question.
on because I still had to work with a lot. There was a lot to do, and and I'm not God, so I was keeping a certain amount, still
Of
open.
hope, of a little bit of hope, yeah.
And then hopeful, just wishful thinking.
Yeah. And you're probably in shock too, you're right,
I'm
just,
in shock, but I still had my feet on the ground.
yeah.
Yeah. It wasn't like everything was a blur. I still had my feet on the ground.
Mm-hmm.
But he was thinking that, oh, look at, he said, he told me, something just to the effect, or like, calm down, so.
Now, was it your father that saw him bringing out the trash and said something's not right with that guy?
My father saw him bring out the trash, and my father, because we always kept, I said, let's keep the front door open in case she comes in.
Right.
But my father knew she was never going to come back either.
Oh, he thought so too?
Yeah, so both of us, we looked at each other, we knew, But that was it. That was our connection. That's the way, I remember my father. My father was like, he was very, upset, but still he had his feet on the ground.
Mm-hmm.
And he had the rational. He wasn't just getting all, completely, all frantic.
Right. And when was he taking out that trash? Was that Thursday night or was it Friday?
I think that was, I think it was Saturday.
Oh, Saturday.
Saturday, yeah.
Okay. And
it's interesting, Holy Thursday,
mm-hmm.
and what we believe, Holy Thursday is a very special day.
Mm-hmm.
Holy Thursday, Good Friday, Holy Saturday, and
Easter Sunday. You're right.
That's like the Triduum. Those are the most important days of the year,
Mm-hmm.
In the faith I have.
Right.
The faith I have, which is Catholic.
Right.
And so, I didn't think of that then, but I thought of it like about 2 weeks after the time.
Now, do you think when you went to the house, he had already brought her body to Harriman?
Yes.
He did. It was right away that he brought her up there and then came back?
I tried to figure probably about 4 o'clock. He had her in the trunk, bringing her over there. That's about, I think it's about 14 miles.
Yeah.
And you get off the Parkway, Palisade Parkway. It's exit 14, and then you go take a left and you go up the mountain. You go on the road for about 1.5 miles,
Mm-hmm.
and that's where Joan was left. And right now there's a marker. We put that marker for the 30th anniversary, to say, that there's Joan now.
Right. And then he came back, he took a shower, and he joined the search, right? He joined the search party. Yeah. And did your husband have any interaction with him during that search? Like, did anyone, or your father, no one had any interaction with him?
No. Only me.
Only you. And prior to that meeting with him, did you know him at all, like before that?
The kids, they knew him. They said he was very nice. They would be on their bicycles. He would talk to them. They would tell me how nice he was.
Mm-hmm.
So they knew him. But me, I knew what he looked like. I knew that was the person they were talking about. But I had never talked to him.
No. And his mother, you didn't have any dealings with his mother or his grandmother? No. Because they lived there too, right?
I didn't even know what the mother looked like.
Okay.
See, my house is here, right? Like this is the block, and this is the street where the space is, right?
Mm-hmm.
My house is here. I'm on that street. Across the street, then you have the other houses. So there's 3 houses. There's the house across the street, then there's the house after it, and the house after it. Then at that corner, when you make a right, that's where the house was. at that corner.
Mm-hmm.
So the side of the house was on my street, Orange.
I see. Okay. And then I know that they said the police then took him down to the station. Did you know he was down at the station being questioned?
The
Excuse me.
microphone is
Oh,
a
sure.
little low.
Oh, you can't hear?
We can hear, but
No. Oh, okay.
Thanks, John. Did you know he was being questioned? Did they tell you? Did they keep you apprised that we have him down at the station and we're questioning him?
No.
No, you didn't know. You had no idea. Okay, because
All I knew was anything I read in the papers.
I see. Because there's a little boy that was in Joan's class that's in the book. You saw that he said about that that everybody gathered at the steps of the police department and that McGowan was inside being questioned.
Well, the little boy was Joan's boyfriend.
Yeah.
And he was searching for Joan. He was on a fire truck.
Right. So he must have, saw there was a commotion at the police department, and then they asked him to take a polygraph, and he failed the polygraph, right? And then he asked for a priest.
He thought that he was not going to fail it.
Of course, they all do, right? Yeah. Yeah. And then he asked for a priest, and then he confessed to the priest, and then he confessed to the police. And then this is Easter Sunday. They come to your house, right? The chief of police who came back from vacation, right? Because the tight-knit community.
He came back. He came back the following day.
Right.
So Joan, on Thursday, he came back. He came back. I didn't see him until Saturday. So I guess he came back Friday night or something,
Right, because he wanted to be there because your community is very close. It's a close-knit community, and he heard about this, we're on vacation, and decided to come back, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So they come to your house, and at that point, when you see them walking up, you know?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. So remember, the door was always open. The screen door was the door was open. So you just had the screen door. And so there was Chief Arisco, and there was priest was there too, and that was Father Carney. And then what happened was I saw them, and just to get my breath, I took the tablecloth off the kitchen table, but I did it purposely just to get my breath.
Mm-hmm.
And then in the living room, there were lots of relatives. And so I was sitting, because we have a small table, I was sitting on the long side, and I remember they sat opposite me on the other long side of the living room. At the little head of the small table that we had was Frank.
Your husband, yeah.
And then they said, they told us that, he killed her. So then I said I wanted to kill him.
Mm-hmm.
And even though I didn't mean it, but I just had to get it out.
Right, absolutely.
But I knew I didn't mean it. And then the priest says to me, don't say that. And I felt, I said, how could you even talk to me like that to myself?
Mm-hmm.
I said, am I not going through enough?
Right.
And meanwhile, that's that's what I get. So the Chief Arisco says, leave her alone.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
All the other people, they were just screaming, everybody was screaming. There was all this screaming from the other, because they were, everybody was affected.
Absolutely.
Everybody was affected, and they were very scared, And then I remember going into the bedroom and just lying down. I just had to
Process it, yeah.
Oh, I know. The first thing I did is Frankie and Marie were downstairs, and I said, I'm going to close the door. I don't want them to hear this right now. And they have to hear it from us. So I says, we have to go downstairs now. and that's the first. I went to the children first. I didn't even go into the living room with people. I went downstairs to the children. They had to be thought of first. So I went down and I told them, and I still remember the shirt that Frankie had on. Okay, it was like a rust-colored, like a warm rust-colored, orangey color. And I remember that shirt he had on. And they just stayed there, like, they're like little, they're just wondering what's going on, like, like bewildered. So then, I said, and I knew that, they were going to need a lot of consideration.
Absolutely, yeah.
And that's where I focused, because they had to know things, not from the newspaper. They had to know it from
you.
A mouth of a parent. So I was the one that was doing it. The other parents didn't do it.
Right, absolutely.
They had to have. That was my prime concern. So, and that's one of the things that gave me strength too, because I had these 2 little children to take care of.
Right.
But there were 7 other ways I got strength too. And one of them was, not just thinking of my own pain, and thinking that Joan, look at what she went through, and how could I be so selfish, just to think of my own pain. So I knew I was going to do something. What it was going to be, I was going to find out, as the days went on, and I was realizing there was a message, and and then I knew what the message was going to be.
Right.
And it had to do with Holy Thursday and Easter, and Easter was a day of hope. She was found up there in Harriman State Park, and when she was found, it was, her head was up, it was down the slope between 2 boulders, and her head was, facing the sky, and I understand someone told me they were there, they happened to be there, and there was so much, she was in a plastic bag, but there was so much blood that you were just, it was just, you were making footsteps with blood.
Oh, wow.
I know. And so I learned a lot of things every day, about this story, and that I learned about maybe 7 years ago. Someone came to me at a yard sale that was there.
Wow.
Yeah.
And they also said that he packed her clothing carefully.
My point is those 2 days, I was going to see that was a message of hope.
That was your message of hope, yeah.
That was one of the ways that's another way I got strength. That was a very big one. That's one of the biggest ways I got strength. Oh, and then Joan, 3 together, triangle. Holy Thursday, Easter, and Joan. Because Joan, I'm getting off, but that's okay. I want to just tell you, when Joan was born, she was my 3rd child in 2 years, in 25 months.
Wow.
And at that time, I was even starting to get, we didn't know what was wrong, but I was starting to get very strong fatigue and weakness. And we did find out later what it was myasthenia gravis. But I remember that I was in there, and then you stayed in the hospital like a few days at that time. And the chaplain came in, and he said to me, this is a happy time, you have the baby, but I have to tell you something. He said, it's not going to be easy with her. Something is going to happen. It's not going to be easy.
Wow.
This child is different. And that's what he told me. So I was soon to find that out.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and so that those three gave me the most strength. You know, that's the way I got. And then I had all the other reasons. And the second was, you know, but that was like my immediate one, practical one, is taking care of the two children and giving them consideration, you know,
Right.
and letting them have somebody to talk to. And the other one, the other three came, it evolved. And then I was starting to look for messages and signs. And that was interesting. It almost became like a therapy because I had something to hope for. You see?
Yeah,
So
definitely.
That was good. That was a good thing.
That was, yeah, absolutely.
Mhm.
And so the chief of police, no, not the chief of police, you had an FBI agent on your block, and he identified Joan for you, right?
He did, because I didn't want to see her that way.
Right. Yeah. No.
That's all I'd be thinking about then.
Yeah.
So I don't really think about that.
Right.
You know, I think about the last time, you know, when I saw her, you know, and she was all happy, and, you know, and we had a great connection, you know.
Yeah,
And
that's what, yeah, I don't,
it was like, you know, like a mom and a baby and a child.
right.
It was
So,
good.
so then, and he also did something very strange. While he took bags and the carpet cover, the couch cover that he had her in, he put it in a roadside trash bin, but he put her clothes, they said, like in a mobile, they packed them neatly in a mobile gas bag or something, and
Like, and it was like they were all like neatly put together.
right.
I don't know. I don't know what that means.
Yeah, like why he would do that, but
Maybe because this was his, you know, like he conquered this or something. This was like his. It's like when you go and you kill, like hunters do in the jungle, and they get an animal, and then they kill the animal, and then they have this big. They did this big feat of killing the animal, and then they have this trophy.
yeah.
Maybe that was part of the trophy. You know, like very.
Now,
very good.
the other question I had that's not that I didn't find in the book, did they ever search his house? They must have searched his house, right?
Radio, they searched his house.
And did they ever find the Girl Scout cookies? And then someone said there's 100 empty boxes of Girl Scout cookies or something.
They were cookies. They were just cookies, boxes of cookies.
Boxes of cookies.
Mm-hmm.
So what is that? I mean, they were just buying cookies like crazy from Girl Scouts all over, or
And then people knew that lived in the house. They knew about it.
that's
And plus he had a wall of all guns, lots of guns.
weird. Okay, wow. And yeah, did they ever find her bag that she brought them in? They found that?
No, we never.
Never?
Found that, no. But they did. They had her clothes, okay, and her clothes are in Bergen County someplace. They're in a lot.
The evidence room, yeah.
Yeah, someplace. It's all locked up.
Mm-hmm.
I never saw the clothes.
No.
But I remember what she had.
Right. And then, so then the next.
She even told him, she said, but I don't have an undershirt on, when he told her to take a blouse off.
Oh, wow.
The Bishop, because I used to have my kids wear undershirts, but I don't have an undershirt on. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, what a sicko. And so now, then the next step was he's in there, right? He's going to plead guilty. There's going to be no trial, right? Is that was the thing?
Yeah.
And then you had to go to court for what? And you saw his mother, you said, and she stared at you very.
For the first time I saw her mother, and I was going into the courtroom, and there were these double doors, and she was standing right near the side of one part of the double door, and I passed right past her. She was like right here. The door is here.
Mm-hmm.
She's here. I'm going through. I passed her right through. She knew who I was. I didn't know who she was, but the way she looked at me, I knew who it was. It was the mother. The mother looked at me with eyes like a knife. If you could explain how eyes look like a
Sure.
knife.
Like if it looks good, kill. Yeah.
She wanted just through them. And she didn't say anything. So, I mean, and to this day, I have never, ever, ever, there's nothing. It's like we don't even exist. But you know what? It would just be polite anyway, because no contrition was ever shown. They still appeal. They still hide money that they don't want us to get. It's like
Right.
it's very, very no contrition, no nothing.
But his mother passed away, right? His mother passed away?
Yeah, she passed away in the 90s.
In the 90s.
I think early 90s.
And did they sell the house right away, or did she continue to live there?
They were living there, but then they had to leave because people were, didn't want them there.
Right.
People didn't want them there.
Okay.
They were even saying they were going to burn it down for people. I mean, the community was like, very affected too.
Oh, yeah.
And it's something that they never get over either.
No. No, I tell you, we lived a couple of towns away, and I tell you, that my mother, I wasn't, my mother, I was still too little, but my mother knew about it, and we knew about it, and, everybody talked about, the little Girl Scout that's the way I heard the story, and so, yeah, in the actual town, I imagine, yes, there's going to be even much more, community getting up in arms that this happened, and
it could have been their child.
Absolutely.
And then Joan became like the community's child.
Everyone's child, yeah. Right. So yeah, that brings the community together, and they're definitely not wanted there, right? It just just
they went through a lot, and everybody was scared. Was scared. Because nothing ever like this happened.
And it was a teacher too, right? So it was,
Yeah, but nothing ever happened like this.
No, right.
And here it is. She's going to deliver the Girl Scout cookies, doing something for community, right? And kids were going out selling to many, many people. Some kids were going like about a mile to sell cookies because they wanted to get the prize.
Absolutely.
They were out all day selling cookies, and some of them by themselves. They didn't go like with a sister.
Right.
Only bugs.
I mean, this brought like a new awareness to that for everybody nearby. I know at least, everybody was, oh my gosh, very hyper aware after that about this.
It became like people started to be like more wary about their children being out playing. They saw like eventually the Girl Scouts did change rules.
Right.
And so it became this case is a case in history. It's a historical case because it changed things in society.
Absolutely.
It gave us an awareness of something we didn't want to be aware of.
No.
You see?
Right. It changed. It's
started with Joan, yeah.
Sense of innocence. But someone asked a question, and they said, was the mother or grandmother home when Joan went there? But it was the grandmother was upstairs, right, or something, watching TV?
Grandmother was home, and they claimed that she was hard of hearing, so she probably was. Because I know they had the TV set a certain way so she could hear it. And she was upstairs in the living room. So that means she was right above the room where Joan died.
And the mother was at work, I believe, right?
Yeah.
So that's your question, dreaming. But okay, and then that he pled guilty. So you didn't have a trial, but you said you wished
They put this further.
Oh, sure.
Okay.
Okay. But you said you wished you had had a trial, correct? Did you say that you wish there had been a trial?
If there was a trial, then I could have found out everything, So this way I found things out little by little. And there's things that I still don't know. I have questions about.
I see.
So, yeah. And then I think it would have been good because you would have had, the community would have had a chance just to see and absorb it and have it register a little bit instead of it happened and then everything is just like it's almost like gone away.
Right, right,
So it's good almost like psychologically.
right. And the thing I want to ask you is about.
And you know what else I think would do? It would make you deal with things more.
Sure. I mean, and that's what happens when like when you don't have a trial in a case, right? Because the stuff doesn't get out. People have questions, and like you said, it's swept under the rug, and you don't hear the answers, so you just go through wondering, about this or that or the other thing. So yeah, I hear you on that.
It would have been different. It would be completely different because I think I know people would have been dealing with it more because they'd have to. They'd have to.
Now, at that time, was there any death penalty in New Jersey at that time? Was there?
No, at that time there wasn't. There was death penalty till '72. Then it was changed, and they curtailed it, and so therefore, the most at that time you could get, which meant a life sentence, was only 14 years.
Only 14 years.
And I thought life sentence when they said he got life, not knowing about any of this at all. I thought it meant life.
Right, right.
You know?
So it was 14 years, and then he came up for parole before that, right?
Well, he came up for parole. 14 years is like 1987.
Right. Okay.
At that time, you didn't have to fight to keep him in. Then the next time, he came up in 93. So at that time, 93, he was in for 20 years.
Mm-hmm.
So he was there 6 years more than the time that he got. So it was going to be difficult, difficult to keep him in. So then I spoke, and then what was interesting, that he had gotten 12 years at that time. That was in 1987, until his next eligibility. And 6 years was cut off. And he was getting, because of good behavior, because of work credits, he was getting like points. 6 years he got. I had no clue about that at all.
Right.
I was called on July 26, 1993. I'll never forget. And out of the blue, they tell me he's eligible, and he's eligible right now. And I remember, I said, being really upset because it was so startling. And then after I said, okay, I gotta get my feet on the ground, and I gotta be strong because we're gonna have to fight. Because it was indicated to me that if we didn't fight, he was going to be out. And there was another case at that time, and I think it was New Hampshire, and the person was in prison for 35 years. I know that his term was expired. You know what? He got out.
Wow.
He got out. There wasn't a fight there.
Huh.
So he was out. Now you remember, if Joan's killer got out, he was not going to only kill children. He was going to kill lots of people in a movie theater, at a shopping center, because he was a serial killer too.
Right. Yeah. I mean, so that process for you is you have to go in front of the parole board and tell your story again?
I did it, did it in 93, did it in 98, did it in 2008. So 3 times I had to do it. And at one time I was pretty sick with MG, so I remember they had to come to the house, and I was pretty sick. Oh my God, And I remember, having trouble breathing, and I did testify. And then the other time I did go down to Trenton, but I was getting so tired.
Right.
And at that time, Michael and Joan that was the first time that they testified, and I did testify, and there was a sofa there, I was lying down on the sofa.
Okay.
But But I was so thankful. I could do it. I did it.
Yeah.
So, but you had to convince them. You had to convince them. It was like persuading them. These people.
Mm-hmm.
They don't even know who Joan is.
Right.
You know, about her and about why you have to keep them, this killer in prison. Because the killer has rights. That's the way it is. That's the way the system is.
Okay. And
So
then,
you have to.
so,
It's like, and then in time, then we got the laws, and that's going to help.
just want to ask you one question. Seeing him after after he confessed, okay? The first time you saw him was in that courtroom, right? You saw him in there. Did he look at you at all? Did you have words with him?
When he came into the room, he was looking for someone, and he was looking for me, and I knew he was looking for me, and I looked at him. He looked at me, and that was the last time.
So did you get to give a victim statement?
He wanted to see how I was. That's what I felt. He wanted to see if I was breaking down.
How he hurt you.
And he wanted to see me like really, really like powerless. And I knew that. And because of that, I stayed so strong. And then when I went out, like, oh my gosh, when I got home after that, then I cried. I cried so much.
Right, because he wanted to see you breaking down, right? And look, yeah.
Oh, he loved that. He loved it.
Right. But did you get to give a victim's impact statement before he was sentenced?
You always see what you do is the victim's impact statement is my testimony.
Right. Okay. And so, yeah. And never, like, since then, you've never just said, I want to see him face to face, like visit him and ask him anything. You've never met with him at all, right? Behind prison walls.
No, I never met him because I was concerned that it could affect the case. I thought of it, but I thought it could affect the case.
Mm-hmm.
Never know, because, he's very manipulative. He doesn't have any empathy.
Right.
And then his mother was, still alive. And so if someone else wanted to go, I wasn't going to stop him.
Mm-hmm. Right. I mean, but as a mother, did you feel like you just wanted to yell or scream or anything to him, like just get something off your chest? Did you have feelings like that? Did
I feel like I could scream?
Like, just say, like, why did you do, like, what, like, just, I don't know, just unload on him.
No, you know what? I didn't want to do that because he would just be so arrogant, and he would say, oh, look at her. She's just, very emotional, and, she doesn't know what she's saying.
Mm-hmm.
And, I'll just dismiss it. And,
right.
I'm better, and so forth. But I did have moments when I would say, I wish he wasn't alive.
Mm-hmm.
But, I would say, but I said, it's not that way, so, you could do it.
Right, yeah. It's just, now, the other thing I want to ask you is he was evaluated by several psychiatrists, right? And then you have John Douglas, and John, you've met with John Douglas, right? He came out to your house and everything. And John Douglas feels that he was not a pedophile, but he acted out because he had such rage towards his mother because she did not let him get married to this fiance. Did you hear this story? Did you read that in the book?
I heard that story, as the one of the theories,
mm-hmm.
or one of possibilities, or one of, like, what Douglas was saying. But I thought there was more to it than that.
Right.
And Douglas did allude, to his insecurity,
mm-hmm.
and his loser type, and his want to be superior. And I think a lot had to do with that himself.
Right.
A lot had to do with himself.
Did they ever find out if there
with
was?
her,
Oh,
with
sorry.
her, I think that, she was very, very, she seemed very, very controlling.
Sure, she sounds it. Yeah, from
But
what.
yeah, I think they had like a very malfunctioning relationship together.
Dysfunctional. Yeah. The thing I want to ask, did they ever find out if that was true? Like that he had, did anybody find a fiance and that storyline was true? That, I mean, did they ever question her and say that this is true, or is it something he made up? Because how would you know,
No,
right?
no,
You wouldn't know.
they didn't. I never remember the fiance being questioned.
Right, because you wouldn't, how do we know he just didn't make that up, right? I mean, we don't know.
Like, no, there was someone he was engaged to.
Okay, they did. So
I was
then,
trying to find out too, but we couldn't find out.
yeah.
Was trying to see if I could talk to that person. That person I would like to.
Oh, yeah, right? To see what he was like.
That person is around right now.
Please contact Rosemary. She would like Rosemarie. She would like to talk to you. Yeah, no, like, right? That
Lots of questions.
yeah, how he acted around her, if he ever, right, and all kinds of things. But
Yeah, me too. You see, in finding out, analyzing the analysis, and finding out how their minds work and all, and figuring all this out, I think we can understand a lot about possible killers, or just about like the potential for people to, to do things.
sure.
And I think it could make us more like
Aware of.
aware, but give us more tools to work with as these innocent people.
Sure, absolutely, I agree.
I think the more of that. So I think what you're doing now, to do this, right, is doing that.
Yeah.
Because I'm the only one that, could talk about it, because I went through it, talking from, real, not just theories and so
Right.
forth. And you bringing it out like that is very important. That's why,
Yeah, we're honored to have you here, and I think it's
terrific.
it's very important. Yeah.
You get bigger and bigger and bigger.
No, I mean, it is like, it is a way, if you understand what kind of person does this and what kind of things could trigger it, and it can keep people safe and they can recognize it. And I think it's important. So just don't say, oh, well, he killed her, lock her up. But why? What changed him from in front of that classroom, as they said, 2 hours before, to doing this, right? When he's never done anything like this before. And
we don't know.
We don't know, right? But
because there were a lot of stories going around that he was stalking the cheerleaders.
Oh, really? It's cheerleaders? And that he was dating a 16-year-old or so, right? Yeah. But, I mean...
It wasn't proved, it wasn't,
alleged, yeah. It was alleged.
But the parents were so afraid that, they were having guns in their house. They would get these phone calls, and this was like before Joan died. They were getting these phone calls, and then he would scare them, and he would talk about, he'd be rude, talking to the mother, and then he would say, I have your daughter, and then they would go to the school, and the daughter was in the classroom.
Wow.
But it never was proved.
Oh, wow.
And but they spoke to me about it and said,
Right. There was a girl that came to your house, right, a few years ago, right? Or last year, did she come to your house and say that he stalked her?
About the stalking, that was in the 90s.
In the 90s. Okay. Yeah. So, I mean, and that, she had to bring something to paper to get signed or something, and he was acting weird or something. Didn't you say?
No. Okay. Now, this one had to do with someone had seen, they knew about the book, right? And they had, like, from the high school, they have the alumni, so the alumni has a group, and they were talking about it. And this was at the Tappan Zee High School.
Right.
And so then she said to me, she never had gotten in contact with me. It took that book, and she wanted to talk to me and meet me, and this was like, say, 46 years after it happened. So she comes here, and she's just talking about it, and she was feeling that she was a little responsible, because a couple of hours before that, she was in the classroom, and she was having a makeup test, and he was there. And then she was telling me how he was acting. And he was staying near her desk, so close to her desk. And she said, "Why are you staying so close?" Well, he said, "I'm afraid you're going to cheat." And meanwhile, there was no one else in the classroom.
Yeah, crazy.
That I felt very uncomfortable with him, and I couldn't wait to get out of that classroom. And then after that, a couple of hours after that, Joan was dead. So she had to get it off her.
Get it off her chest, she felt, yeah. She thinks she could have stopped it, yeah. Yeah, so she carried that around for a long time. Yeah, so it was nice that she could talk to you and at least...
Well, she wanted to come and talk to me, and that's what she did. And and then I never heard from her again, but it was just something she had to do. So that's how I know.
Right, right. Oh boy. So let me just see if anybody has any questions about this point so far. Does anybody have any questions up to this point that you'd like to ask? It'll take a second for just
Did you
a,
break?
if you could take a little break. Do you need a bathroom break or
Still after 11.
it's 11 is it?
No,
11,
just gonna take
16?
a little break.
Yeah.
Walk her.
Go, you take a little break, and then that'll give time to get their questions in, and then I can get them together for you. Okay?
Okay, good. I like
All right. Thanks so much. You're doing great.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. So you guys have any questions? Let's see. I'll write your questions down. Who has questions here? I can answer that one, Tina. No, she had 3 children at that time. She had a daughter, Marie. She has a daughter, Marie, a son, Frank, and then she had 2 boys after, in the I think 1980, 81, she had 2 more boys.
Yeah.
How to check for Jones law in your state? Okay, I'll write it down. Okay. Okay, and what else? What town? It's Hillsdale, New Jersey. And yes, she lives in the same house. Have other mothers in similar... Oh, I can ask her that. Reached out for her... Okay, let me ask her. Okay. How old would Joan be now? She was born September 7th of 1965. So, where are we? She would be 54 years old. Let's see. Did Rosemarie have help deciding how to deal with the trauma, or was it instinct? Okay. Okay, let's see. You want to know why? Okay, well, we didn't get to that point yet, Sassy, so we'll get to that point when we're talking about that's to do with the, well, I can, yeah, maybe with the parole, we'll see. Okay. If no laws are here now, what can we do to lobby for laws? Okay. Oh, 3 days older than you, Video Chimp? Wow. close in age to many of you. Yeah. There's another unsolved. Yeah, but this isn't, this one, Kathy B, is not unsolved. They knew who did this in a matter of days. Does anyone, what do you say, live in the house now? Does anyone live in the house? I believe they do, but I mean, they don't, but I'll find out. Do you feel that his mother had any suspicions at all? Oh, that he would do this kind of thing, Carol? Did she feel that? Does she agree that it, well, I kind of asked her that, Siri, but I can ask again. Let's see. Dreaming, it did not. I can answer that. It did not. Did not survive. You want to know about the foundation and how we can get involved. Okay. Okay. How did children, okay. Let's see. Oh, she would have been the same age as you, Pauline? How does the foundation help? What did you say, Kathy? Hang on. Kathy Ann Dougherty was raped and murdered at St. Mark's Church in 1962 in Bristol, Pennsylvania. I just saw something about Bristol. I just saw something about that. Bristol. Why did I see that? I did see that. How old would she be? She would be 54 right now. How did, let's see here. So is parole ongoing now? Yeah, I believe it's 2025 that it comes up again. I'm pretty sure. It's interesting hearing her thoughts on motivation of the crime versus the professionals. Signs, communicating, and force. Your question is how this affected. Yeah, Sarah, not in a good way. Not in a good way. Oh, I'm sorry, Kathy. I'm sorry you took a fall. I hope you feel better. How old is he? He was 27 in 1973. So not well. There's stuff in the book about that, Angie. Joan is a year older than you, almost to the day. You have the same brownie uniform, so this really touches you. Oh, Zuzu. Right, Elizabeth, yeah. Does she fear for the safety of the if for her safety? Okay. Okay, I'm trying to get to them, Buttercup, but I can only get to ones I see. I have to write them down. I'm sorry that. What is her message to other parents? Oh, yeah, I have that down here in my questions. Buttercup, I'm looking and I'm trying to find one of your questions here. Did the other children, parents he came in contact with? Did any other children come forward that were on the block at the time, you mean? Oh, okay, that'd be interesting to know. Okay.
Okay, I'm coming.
Okay, no problem.
I'm here.
No problem. No problem. So here's some questions. They said, did any children in the neighborhood come forward like right after and say that they had any dealings with him or he acted inappropriate at any time? Did anybody come forward and say that?
I know there was someone that went into his house, but they were neighbors, and there was nothing negative said. And they used to make cookies together.
Oh, wow. Okay.
The mother, yeah.
All right. And then they said, do you think his mother had any suspicion that he could have done anything like that? I know you didn't have much dealing with her, but did you feel that she thought he was a danger? Yeah?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
She knew about her son.
Okay.
I think she thought her son was, perfect.
Right.
But she knew underneath, even though I think she was just denying it.
Okay. And they said in dealing with your young children, did you do it by intuition or did you get counsel? Did you bring them to a counselor? How did you help them deal with it?
At that time, you didn't even have social services.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't have victim services,
Right.
So it wasn't like that kind of way of life. It was more, see, I was trained as a teacher.
Mm-hmm.
And also a special ed teacher. And I really wanted to become a social worker.
I see.
Okay? So I always had that sense of very interested, curious about what makes people do.
Right.
So it was more just out of just compassion, care, and what do you do? The children are not going to be thinking like an adult.
Mm-hmm.
They still want to go, like Marie went to her Girl Scouts still, even though that was very, very hard for me.
Right.
But it was going to be good for her. And then they they played. We stayed in the same area, okay?
Mm-hmm.
So this way there would be stability. It was just, they needed everything more or less the same as much as possible because, all of this. So that was important to them. And I think that was very important to them because they can't, but it doesn't process like you.
Did you ever think of moving? Did you ever say, I can't stay here, it's too hard?
Well, I thought of moving, but I knew we couldn't move because at that time I was too weak and I had too much fatigue and weakness, not knowing really what it was, but we were still searching.
Mm-hmm.
And then I had to take care of the children.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then how would I be able to move then it would just be even more stress.
Yeah.
And then I would be sickly, and I won't be able to take care of the kids.
Right.
So
Right.
in the long run, it was good that we stayed there. But in my head, even if I didn't have that, I was still thinking, what is most solid for them, where they have this most stability that you can give.
Right. Right.
And
You know,
so you know,
did you find yourself being like a little? Did you become a little paranoid with the other two kids? No. No.
no,
You weren't like, where are they? Where are they? No.
no, because I wanted them to be kids,
Mm-hmm.
and you know, that was I, and there were a lot of parents becoming parents.
Right.
But even I had 2 more children after Joan died.
Right. Yeah.
I didn't believe in that. So there was a way. I said, I cannot control everything
Mm-hmm.
perfectly, and I will, just be sensible with it, educate, watch out, have certain things that we do, certain things we don't do, and my kids, they were attentive to that.
Okay. Good. Yeah. So that's good that you could do that, because you would think like going through that you might just be like hovering everybody, all the time, and that wouldn't be fair to them because that's not how they want to grow up, right? But it's you kind of feel like maybe that
And then, I believed also. I believed. Now remember, I had 2 children instead of 3.
Mm-hmm.
So then I had a little more time with 2 children.
Mm-hmm.
So it gave me an opportunity to give them more experiences, to try different experiences, to give them a little push here, give them a little opportunity there, try to see if that could develop something in them. If you saw maybe, let's try to help them to be like, more comfortable, like socially.
I
So
see.
maybe we'd try cheerleading,
Mm-hmm.
and then, if she didn't like it, then we'd go to something else. So I was always aware of that, to try to give them experiences that could enhance or give them more tools. And that was important to me.
Okay. And how did they want to know, how did Frank and Marie handle the loss of Joan? How did they have any, like, did they, was there big changes in their behavior or anything, or no?
They were more reserved, more reserved, with their feelings. And it was like they were still children. Maybe if they were 13 or so, it would be different. They were interested in still playing, having their friends. What I would see sometimes is, especially with Frankie, there was this boy that he would kind of make fun of what was happening to Joan, and then the other kids would say, stop doing that. So Frank, because we always would, I would make sure that we would have our times to talk.
Right.
We would always talk, because they were more quiet. They didn't ask questions so much. They waited to see what I was going to say.
I see.
So I took it that way, because they were more, more quiet, like with their feeling. But it was, they didn't understand. They didn't understand like a 15-year-old or like a 12-year-old or like even like an 11-year-old. And I was thinking myself, when I was about 8, 9, I was going through some things that weren't that great, but there's an innocence still at that age. I wasn't comprehending that funny things were being done to me.
Right, I see.
Yeah.
But you didn't see, like, and I think it could be natural too, that they didn't get scared, like, Mommy, is someone going to do that to me? Did they?
Of course they were thinking of that.
Yeah, so you did,
All kids think of that.
Yeah.
Even Michael and Joan thought of it. If the killer was going to come out when they were 11, 13, and that was like, say, 93, they were afraid he would come out and hurt them. So all of them thought
Right. Oh, okay. Yeah. And how did you deal with that? You just
That made me fight harder.
yeah, fight harder, right?
I was gonna fight harder.
Absolutely. And yeah, because I know like kids are like that. Like my little one, he'll get scared if he hears anything. Like he'll be like scared. Like somebody, is there going to be a bad man that comes up? You know what I mean? And there's nothing. You know, I can imagine if something like that happened. Yeah, they'd be constantly thinking, you know, who's going to hurt me? If someone going to come and hurt me? So that's good that
So
you.
once he was there, then they knew that he wasn't gonna come.
Right, right. Because I know, I mean, there was a, there was an escaped killer in the one that shot down in Pennsylvania. Those two cops, and he ambushed them, and they had signs all over the highway up here for him. And my son was like 5 at the time, and he says, "Mommy, why is that man's picture up there?" You know. And I said, well, he's a bad man. He did something very bad, and they're looking for him. They don't know where he is. Well, that was the wrong thing to say, because my son was then thinking, like, you know, is he there? Is he here? You know, where is, like, you know, and he has never forgotten that. He has never forgotten that. You know, like 5 years later, he's still saying, remember that time we saw the picture on the highway? And I said, yeah, but they caught him, and, you know, he's in jail now. But it was scary because they closed schools around here and everything. They didn't know where he was. So I just know from that little bit that it changed how my son was. Yeah. You know, so absolutely. So that's, yeah, that's good. And somebody wanted to know, you had said something like when you had a fight for him to stay in and all this stuff, some of your family was not supportive. And
No, that was 2008. No, I was 93. No, I did it mostly alone. My family, yeah.
but they told you not to?
But they did signatures like that or letters. But as far as really supporting me, it was like they were saying I was dwelling on it, or don't I like I was having pagan thoughts.
Oh, I see. Okay.
I was getting anonymous, stuff in the mail, and but I knew who it was from, by the address on it, the way it was written, and then it was just like they weren't getting enough attention because I was giving too much attention to the case. But I don't think they really dealt with it, because if you had dealt with it, you would understand why I was doing it.
Right.
And it was to help their children, and it was going to help other children. Aren't you happy it's going to help children, the other children? We want to stop it. We don't want it to happen like Joan. I mean, that would be so hard. It's so hard to go through. And for another mother to have to go through that kind of pain and that kind of situation, it's horrendous.
Absolutely, yeah.
I mean, I have, because of what I've gone through, it's even expanded my compassion for what, other people have, even with other things which are big to them, which are never as big as your child being murdered. But still, they're big for them, and you feel for them. But some of them, and it's big stuff. It's sexual abuse, domestic violence, suicide, bullying, and they come to me, or I know about them, and I mean, my heart that just goes out to them so much. So imagine if they would have to go through what I went through with Joan. It's very, very difficult.
Right, absolutely.
The suffering is a lot.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. I mean, that's what I'm saying. You're tremendously strong.
Then I want those people, you won't want,
And on that note,
see, when you're put in a situation and you have 2 other children to take care of,
you have to take care of them, right? Yeah.
And if I'm going to be always like going around with a sad face,
it's not. Yeah.
I would have to do it privately.
Yeah.
I mean, how a child is going to take it personally that with a sad face? I wasn't doing. Maybe I wasn't being considerate enough for me if there was something I would say that I could have done better, to be more considerate of myself, of what I was going to do.
Right.
It was almost like I was not really going through, showing all the pain and suffering I was going through.
Right. Yeah.
But I don't know. I don't even know if they would have been interested.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't think so? Yeah. I mean, yeah, that's terrible. Yeah. I don't know. And that's why I wanted to ask you, like you said, like after the funeral, you got a card, but people, and I want to know what could people, I asked you the other day, and I want everybody to hear it,
Right.
so they know, what could people do for if they know someone going through that? What are the kind of things that would have made a difference to you?
To me, okay, and it could make a difference to other people.
Right, going through something like that, like Faye Sweatlick,
Natural grief.
right? Like Faye, no, like Faye
Yeah.
Sweatlick's mother.
I would say, what would have been good. I remember one person brought a cake during
Okay.
those days.
Mm-hmm.
So one person came to my house. That was all. In those 4 days.
Wow.
And they said, stay away. And I remember, never forget that cake. And that woman, and I remember her name. So that was very important to see that. It would have been nice if they brought like
Supper, yeah.
if they brought something for the children.
Right.
Something for children,
Mm-hmm.
a little stuffed animal. I mean, my kids didn't get that. Then it would be very nice if we got a lot of prayer cards. Those were good, but I really wasn't seeing people. And for me, I'm more a people person. Maybe another person, maybe they don't
Sure.
see people. I would like to see people.
Yeah.
So just to come to visit, and they would come to visit, and then if I had to talk about it, they just listen.
Mm-hmm.
You see, and not be afraid.
Right.
Not be afraid that they show they're getting upset to me. So we won't get upset. We're still gonna be there.
Right.
But it would be wonderful because I would, I'd be getting lots of hugs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, I think that's what people don't know, and I think that's why people don't do it but they just don't know because we don't talk about it, right? We rarely talk about what someone needs at that time, and people don't know, like, will Rosemarie want me there? Will she say, they don't know how to handle it. So I think the more we do talk about it and say, what I could have used, like I'm saying, like Faye Sweatlick's mother is going through something similar. So if anybody's around her, maybe what you're saying, they may hear it and say, well, you know what? I thought I was going to leave her alone, but maybe I'll go there and I'll bring something and have coffee, or invite her to go for coffee, or whatever it is, and it could be very helpful,
Do you want to hear something?
Yeah.
They could leave it at the door if it's too much for them. And you want to hear something happen?
Mm-hmm.
I was going to the mailbox, and this was in December before Christmas. And I had heard somebody put something in the mailbox. So I went down, and meanwhile the person was just going into the car. And I waved to the person, and guess what? That's what the person did, and they didn't want me to know.
What?
They gave me a Santa Claus and snowman candy.
They gave you a Santa Claus and snowman?
And with candy.
With candy.
With candy.
Oh.
And they did that. Do you imagine?
Wow.
Well, guess what? And that was so different because I get that.
Right.
Oh my God, that's great.
Yeah, that's so nice, right? Yeah, just
So
a little thing.
I have the Santa Claus in my special room where I'm now, where I do my work, and I have the snowman in my bedroom. It meant that much to me.
That's nice. See, and somebody might not think it does, right? It means
Yeah, it shows me about that person, where she was, and that makes me have strength.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, people don't, it's hard. I mean, it's very hard for a lot of people to because they don't want to step on your toe. Like, I think it's just they're so afraid, and maybe dealing with their own emotions, because like Joan became everyone's child, so they're probably feeling very emotional about it and just not knowing how to handle that. Sometimes it gets like uncomfortable in a way that they don't know what they're supposed to do or what you want.
Sometimes they really don't want to think of the subject.
Right, because it's hard.
And that's why they don't do it.
Right.
I mean, there's a victim that came to me. Her daughter was murdered at 20 years old, and she said I'd be walking outdoors, and I'd be walking in the street, and the person to avoid me across the street because they didn't want to face me.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah. I mean, I so that was another question. They wanted to know if any other mothers that have lost their children ever reached out to you.
A lot.
A lot. Yeah, and
I would say since I started the advocate work in '93, we're talking about at least 100.
wow.
At least 100, yeah.
Wow. So.
And there was a point that I was thinking of but I should have written it down because I don't remember it now. But it had to do with, helping people to be open, because what's going to happen if they share with the victim or the person that's in grief is going to help them also, because they're going to be more open with their feelings. When you just hold all these feelings in, right? What happens and you block it, it doesn't do anything healthy to you.
Right, absolutely. Yeah.
We know what it does. It could almost show you as an uncaring person.
Absolutely, yeah, because, and I think, and it's not that there, a lot of them are, it's just that they don't know, they've never been, we really don't talk about it. Just like, do you remember how cancer, way back in the day, people didn't mention, it was like cancer, and it was very hush-hush, and so people going through it had no one to talk about it with, right? And they're going through great pain, and it's kind of the same thing here. She lost a child, and I'm scared, and I don't know how to talk to her anymore, and I don't know, so I don't think it's so much that they're being uncaring. They just don't know. It looks that way, but they just don't know. They just don't know. It does, but they don't. I think a lot don't know how to deal with it. Don't know what am I supposed to do? What can I do? And we should be more open with it in a dialogue. So that.
Yeah, but I think because they don't want to deal with the subject, the subject is so hard for them, they're going to get very upset that they don't deal with it, and they don't have to really deal with it because it didn't happen to them. You see?
Yeah.
The fact is, they just block it out, and you're left.
Yeah, and that's not right.
It's not just me.
Right, and that's what I had asked you the other day. Like, did you find you lost friends that you had because they just no longer, like you said, didn't want to be around that sadness or something, didn't want to think about it, so you saw that they kind of went away from.
Oh yeah, but they were thinking that I was just thinking of Joan.
Right, and then that bothered you. I mean, yeah. So yeah, I mean, it's.
And it wasn't true. That wasn't true.
Right.
I had to do this. I had to keep the killer in prison. Okay, and then to make it better in society, somebody had to start changing things. And I saw that nobody had changed laws in all these years.
Right.
If they changed laws, then we wouldn't have to go to what we went. So should that continue, even though it wasn't going to help me? Or do I take the bull by the horns and say, let's start changing things?
Right, you got to take that bull by the horns.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then I took the bull by the horns. So my thing to everybody is that do something.
Do something.
It doesn't have to be. Do something. Help the grieving person. Deal with your own feelings. Do something. Doing something for yourself. Then you could go, up the ladder.
Right.
Because that's the way we're going to change things.
Right, and you said.
And that's the way you're going to feel good about yourself.
Right, and you said if someone asked you to go on a hike or, hey, what about something like that, or something with the garden, you think about what the person likes to do and try to do something in that vein with them, right?
Yeah. And then think of, even the children.
And the children, definitely.
Oh God, if you give them like a little gift certificate, like to go to a little restaurant that they like, or
right.
ice cream.
Yeah.
But say nice things to them. Talk to them.
Right.
that you're interested in them. Don't just ignore them.
Right. That's very important, and that's a good message to get across. And
Yeah.
if you had,
The children just need that as children. So you have a child that, lost a sibling. You have a child that's being bullied. You have a child that has been abused. Just talk to them. You don't see that. Just talk to them. See
right.
what they're doing in school. And it could, and it doesn't. You don't have to worry that you're a stranger. You do it like when the family is there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that you learn a lot with the kids.
Right. And I want to ask you something. I know you know about the little girl in South Carolina, Faye. If you could say something, if her mother was tuning in, what could you say to her mother? What would you say to her mother as she goes through this process right now that you're, familiar with, that you did yourself? What would you say to her?
Well, first of all, it's a very, very short time. So it's going to take, the first 3 months are almost like, I remember I could never listen to the radio. I couldn't listen to the radio. It would make me just very, very sad.
Mm-hmm.
So she's trying to sort things out, you see?
Mm-hmm.
And then she doesn't even have another child there to take care of.
Mm-hmm.
And I know she seems like to have a supportive mother. So
Mm-hmm.
that's a gift, okay?
Mm-hmm.
I would just give her a hug, just something simple.
Mm-hmm.
Just to say, I'm here, give her a hug. Just show compassion. And
Yeah.
compassion it can mean like, with cards, but more than that. Compassion as to say, I'm here, you can talk to me. I'm here that I won't judge you. I'm here that I'll listen to you, and I won't interrupt you.
Mm-hmm.
And she'll sense that. She'll sense it. She needs a lot of emotional support.
Yeah, absolutely. Well,
And we could do it. People could do it. Her neighbors could do it. And maybe they are doing it.
I hope so. I mean, and hopefully if they...
And then maybe what kind of jobs does she have? Maybe the people that work there, where she works.
Mm-hmm.
When she goes back to work, right?
Mm-hmm.
Just don't pretend it's all over with.
Yeah.
And she wants to talk about it. Listen to her.
Right.
That would be very good. And then ask her, to come, if you would like to come bowling with me, or we're going to go shopping. I just wanted to buy you a blouse or something, or get some ice cream. And, but that's what she really needs. She needs emotional support.
Sure. Yeah. Absolutely.
And she might need it. It's just not over like that.
No.
These people should keep, stay connected with her. Or, but you see, people then say, but I have my own life, and I don't want to feel responsible for this. Well, you know what? You'll feel good that you do it.
Yeah.
Just do it. Even if it's a little responsibility. And I remember my neighbor next door, and that's the wife of the FBI agent. And I remember 5 months after Joan died, I'm saying to her, I really feel so sad. And I really wanted to talk about it. And she says to me, you know what she said to me? She says, oh, you're still dwelling on that?
Oh my gosh.
And this is the wife of the FBI agent. That I'll never forget. It was like pierced.
Oh my gosh.
You don't do that.
No, that's something you don't do. Yeah, wow.
That's like a sword piercing.
Horrible. Yeah, I'm surprised that she would say that, because you would think with her husband, that the FBI agents get emotionally involved in some cases, that she would know that, something like that. That's...
And then she's telling me that the husband got an award for it and all. I said, that's good. Fine. It's a good thing because he worked, But, but that's what she said. And
Wow.
that's the way I was being, that's the way I was being treated.
Wow, that's horrible. Yeah, that's
It was not just neighbor, it was my family too.
yeah, that's terrible. I mean, you want to, yeah. I just hope that if something comes out, that people just understand. Yeah, it changes your life forever.
And I'm not afraid to say it.
Oh no, because people think something is, you don't get over grief. You don't.
No,
It's
but
always there. It's always there.
no, that's different. No. You do get over grief.
Oh.
You do get over grief. Grief is really when you're sad and you're really trying to work it out. But when you're interested in life,
Mm-hmm.
and there's so much in life, and there's people that need help and all.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't have grief. Just because I'm talking about this, I don't have grief. I don't feel sad. If I feel sad, it'll be during the timing, like when Joan died, that anniversary,
Mm-hmm.
or if I hear of another child.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? No, I feel sad. But it won't last. Grief lasts. So not everybody has it that way.
No, yeah, but some, I mean, you have to keep working. But the loss is always there. Like it's not something you're going to get over,
Of course.
right? You know what I mean? It's not something you're going to say, "Oh, are you over it yet?" No, you're
No,
never over it.
No.
It's something you live with.
It's not the loss. It's almost like it's like you miss her, but I don't think of it. I don't think of it like every day. Sometimes I think about it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sad, but it's not there as part of my life. No, because she goes on by helping other people.
Mm-hmm.
So her life continues.
Right.
You see?
Yeah. So you channeled that into.
That's right, and people can do that in different ways.
Right, and that's helped you a lot in the healing. Has that helped you tremendously?
That helps me. What helped me in the healing? What helped me in the healing was looking for the signs, looking for the message. What was the message of hope going to be? I knew it was in '93 when I had to fight, start the grassroots movement. That I knew was it. So that gave me the drive, and that's why I do what I do today. And then what I wasn't like, I didn't have it, like it was more that, see, I'm just gonna tell you, if you're just catered to yourself and thinking just more about yourself, you're gonna have it. When you see society and you see what other people are about and what they need to, then you don't have it, you see?
Mm-hmm.
So I was more apt to be, social justice and so forth, and that's the way I was, that's my personality. So then I wasn't into this grief thing.
Mm-hmm.
But remember, I was always looking for signs, and that gave me hope, and that made me happy.
Right.
That gave me joy. So then I found the sign, and amazing things are happening. A friend went to the site where Joan was born. Joan was found about a couple of weeks ago, and she's going for the first time. She's from Colorado, and she was with her boyfriend, and they got lost. So they try to get Joan, and we're at the interfaith events at Seasons.
Mm-hmm.
So then what happens is, when she gets John on the phone, at that time, 8 leaves out of nowhere start to move, and all the others were still.
Mm-hmm.
One comes off, flies about 45 seconds. The direction that leaf was pointing her to the direction where Joan was at.
Oh, wow.
Okay? Then she takes a picture by the tree that has green ribbons, because we put the green ribbons, green is Joan's favorite color. And green means remember Joan today, so tomorrow Joan may be safe. So what happens is there was a joy sign there, it broke, they attach it to the green ribbon, so I took a picture. The second picture they take with my friend, and she's there against the tree. And, you know, it was emotional for her because this was the first time. So you could see, you know, she was going through, you know, like sadness.
Mm-hmm.
But guess what comes around her? Guess what comes around her? And like an aura.
The rainbow. It's like a rainbow, right?
No, of an eye.
Oh, an eye.
And then I'm looking, then somebody on Facebook says, well, that's the fish, the symbol of the fish of Jesus.
Oh.
I go, I thought I saw that shape someplace else.
Oh,
And
wow.
So
Yeah.
this happened just in the past week.
We saw that picture. I put it up because I had the Facebook page. I have to look at it again because I saw the rainbow. You know, I saw like like it was like you could see like a kind of what am I saying? Like, you know, like sort of like the rainbow, but it's in the shape. I'll have to look. It's in the shape of the fish. Wow, that's really amazing. Crazy. Her aura at Siri said, yeah, that's amazing. Wow. And then the white butterflies you have, right? So. And you saw.
Yeah, the white butterfly, it happened because I had gone in 2006.
Mm-hmm.
I went to the site. I hadn't been there in 8 years because I had not been able to go, you know, with health reasons.
Mm-hmm.
So I went, and it was on, we were going for, you know, celebrate and to remember her during that time when she was found. And what happens is, see, it's like she was put, like her body was put like between two big boulders, and it forms a crevice, okay,
Mm-hmm.
like at the bottom. So you have like, it almost looks like a septic. So behind these boulders, I'm coming up the mountain, and I see something flying. I thought it was a moth, but I said, how could it be a moth? They come out at night.
Mm-hmm.
I had no idea there was a white butterfly, that it even existed. It was called cabbage white.
Oh, wow.
There was white butterfly. And it was like, I knew it was Joan. And she was saying, I'm so glad you feel better because you need to be in my place.
Mm.
And there's a lot of work to do. And I'm going to help you. And that's what happened. So then, about 2 years ago, another friend who was in Paris, in France,
Mm-hmm.
in the area where Joan Bark,
Mm-hmm.
was, her history is,
Right.
you see something on television, and it shows Joan of Arc when she would go to battle, and she had a banner. White butterflies were behind her.
Oh, wow. Wow.
And Joan, her name is Joan of Arc, right?
Yeah, wow.
Oh, there were white butterflies in the 1400s. Okay?
Yeah.
All right. What do you think of that?
That's amazing. Yeah, the butterfly, I mean, it means something to me too because I lost my parents and I have yellow swallowtail butterflies that are associated with that. And, you know, my youngest two children never met my parents. So when I saw the butterfly, my little son was like 4 at any time. And he said, what is it? I said, that reminds me of Grandma and Grandpa because they circle you kids when you're playing and they're telling me that they're watching over you, right? So he came running in the house one day and he goes, Mommy, Mommy, I saw your mother in the garden. Your mother was in the garden. I said, what do you mean? He goes, the yellow butterfly. She's in the garden. And, you know, he was 4 and it was like, I was like, oh my gosh. But yeah, every time they said, they go, there's your mom.
Awesome for
Yeah,
you?
yeah. Yeah, he
Wasn't
goes,
that awesome?
he goes, there's your mom in the garden. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Isn't that beautiful?
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
Right. So, I mean, yeah, I believe in signs too, you know. So, yeah. And then you saw 2 white butterflies when you were there for Paula's Law, right?
And Paula's Law, when I was speaking, I forgot about that one. When I was speaking, and there were lots of people, it was a 94-degree weather day.
Mm-hmm.
The butterfly is out, 94 degrees. And it was up at the site again, at the site. And the white butterfly comes right in front of my face, in front of the people, and flies while I'm talking.
Very nice, yeah.
And there's going to be more.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
maybe we'll hear more stories. Maybe we'll hear stories from my friend in Colorado, and maybe other people now that are hearing us. Might something might happen and they might get signed for a letter.
Absolutely. And somebody said, how can they get involved in the foundation? How can they help in the foundation?
Okay, well, how you could help is, first of all, you could go on to jonesjoy.org.
And I have all the links in the video description.
Okay.
So you guys go there, jonesjoy.org.
You go on Facebook and you could like it.
Mm-hmm.
You could go and you could get the word out about Joan's case.
Right.
In your area, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And let people know about it. People could donate, even if it's $5.
Mm-hmm.
That could go towards helping poor, neglected, homeless, at-risk children that we help at different centers. One in Newark, one in Hackensack, another one in Newark. And that will give them a chance to, and even young people at the Covenant House.
I see.
So they could do license. They could go to Great Adventure. They could go to Radio City Music Hall. They could go to a concert for the young people. The young people are a lot of times human trafficking victims. So Covenant House takes them in to give them life.
Right, right.
They don't get a chance to go to the Madison Square Garden. So that's one of our goals is now, is to send them to Madison Square Garden, even though I didn't tell Covenant House yet.
So that's
Wouldn't it be good if we could get some iPads?
iPads, yeah.
One of the centers, yes. And we could use even used iPads. So you could help that way. Oh gosh, that would help them so much. And then if you live close, then you could help me, like now with the yard sale, with the clothes, we're folding them, getting them together. And then when we have child safety, we do tricky tray. So you could send a basket that we could use with tricky tray, and then I'll tell the people about you. We got a tricky tray from so and so, a basket, and how everything is spreading. They could help by sponsoring. If they have a company, they could sponsor.
Mm-hmm.
In our ad book, they could, if they know of, like, say, restaurants that we have all over the place, get gift certificate for that, we could put with the tricky tray.
I see. Yeah, definitely.
And then I could help them if they want to get, like, maybe a law in their state, or if they want to get this program in their schools.
Yeah, so this program just started, this one, right? Today, you said?
Yes. See, here. I don't know if they can see that.
Joan's Joy, what is it? Joan's Joy Kindness, a little back further, I can't, yeah. You can read it. What does it say? Joan's Joy?
Joan's Joy Mindful Relaxation and Kindness Program.
I see.
Okay?
Uh-huh.
And it's, what it's really going to do is teachers are going to be trained by the professional, and that they're going to get like like lesson plans for the month, and every month they will get different lesson plans, and she's going to show them each month what to do. So every day for 10 minutes, the kids will get relaxation and kindness.
Okay.
So it will help the kids, with the kids that are a little shy. It'll help the kids that are bullying, and they will have more positive experiences.
I see.
So I'm very excited about this. This just started today in one is St. John's in Hillsdale,
Mm-hmm.
and that's where Joan happened to go. She went to that school, and now this is going to be we're like working with the school system of Hillsdale. That's 3 schools, but we can do this for other school systems.
Sure, yeah.
People are getting more monies, but it would be so great, because, it's like if you're having it 9 months in your school system, you need almost $1,500. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
So if you only have it maybe 4 months, then you need 600. Okay?
Right, and maybe like we
So we would donate it to them if we have the money.
absolutely, and
We'll donate it to the school.
we reach. I mean, we're far-reaching. I mean, like I told you, throughout the United States and throughout the Europe and UK. But if let's say we had like 10, our community, they call themselves Ramblers, I don't know, 10, 12 people in Arizona, and they decided to have a garage sale for Joan's Joy, they could do that there and send you the proceeds, right, or something, so they can do something in their neck of the woods as well, right?
Sure. And then they could send me pictures. We'll put it on Facebook. If I have a video I'll show it to my board members.
Absolutely. So you could do,
Safety Fest, we'll show it. What people are doing.
Right.
That's a good idea.
Right, because there are, certain states and other places where there are a few of, the community, and maybe they want to do, some type of something like that. But that's another way if they're not anywhere near you in Hillsdale. But if you are near,
We send them things. We'll send them white butterflies. We could send them the wristbands. We could send them whatever paperwork they need. Like this, we made, right? We made
right.
that.
Oh yeah.
So, that's Joan. And then this, in fact, is one of the bookmarks that we also put in the book. See this book, right? The book that's dedicated to Joan and me.
Oh, the Killer Across the Table.
Now, here we have Joan's signature. That signature is from the morning of the day she died.
Oh, wow.
That was because she wrote a little note to her Nonie and her grandpa. Because we had made flowers that morning.
Yeah.
Before they went to do things, to deliver. So we have a signature.
And that's also on the bench, right? Is that the signature that's on the bench?
Oh, what were you doing? Oh, here it is,
Oh,
honey.
here.
Here. Oh, I didn't know that you weren't seeing it.
I saw it a little bit back there, written on the morning of April 19th, 1973. Very nice. And that is also on the bench, correct? That's in the community?
Well, on the bench is...
a different signature?
Yeah, see, look at that.
A little this way, a little bit, yeah, right there.
See that, everybody?
Her brownie uniform and the Barbie. And...
There you go. And here's the bench.
Oh, that's the bench signature. Okay. Very nice. And the butterfly. Oh, she drew the butterfly. Very cute.
No, not the butterfly.
No?
Wait. Oh, that butterfly you're showing. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, very nice.
Those flowers are on the bench.
Oh, are they? Oh, that's sweet. That's sweet.
And this here, see? I don't know if you can see that. Can you see it?
Yeah, Joan's Joy Mindful Relaxation and Kindness Program. So that's starting in the St. John's.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
But
this is good to get into all this. We could help the schools. If you have a school system, just you get this information. You could share it with your superintendent or your principal, and we'll donate it. We just have to keep on getting more money. That's all.
yeah, and I mean, I want you to, I want you to get a good night's sleep. But then tomorrow, I want you to come back and look at, have John show you how you can get the live chat and replay it, because there's so many comments to you about how you've moved
Really?
people. Yeah.
Really? Well, you know what? This is good because this is the way we're going to change things together.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
It's very, very special. And everybody, oh my gosh, I mean, amazing people in this world.
Yeah.
I love you all.
They love you. They love you very much too, and I love you too. I feel like I've known you for a long time. You make it very easy to talk to you. It's very nice.
And here, see, and this one is the other one we're initiating, and this one has to do with recognizing and reporting child abuse.
I see.
Training the teachers and the parents, and the child has a small video.
Right.
So now this one is also going to be starting at St. John's. and also in the school system, the public school system, they are looking at it and they might do a variation of it.
I see. Very important because, yeah, like that little boy that was killed in Staten Island, right? He was abused and nobody took it seriously. And the one that froze to death, who's the cop's son? Yeah, I mean, there's so many children, like even in the past, Lisa Steinberg, terribly abused and in the school system. And
Yes, I remember that.
right,
You know what we might do, what we could do, is all of us could get together and we could go to Washington
mm-hmm.
and we can really speak up for these children, and because it's not stopping, it's too much still.
Oh yeah, that's exactly, we say that every day here. It's too much.
And guess what? Joan was, she was like, she was 2 years old, and she was like, oh, again they're doing that. She was like, now stop. She's like that. And she'd do something. She'd tap him on the head.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, there's so many things we can do.
Yeah, and I mean, we do say
what
that.
You're doing is, I didn't even know you had these things.
Yeah, we say like it's too much already when these children, and everybody wants to do something. So I think we're going to do some great things together, and we will brainstorm some ways to help, whether in their neck of the woods or getting together and doing something, because we do have a good presence on the East Coast, and and I definitely want to help with things, and so. Yeah, I'm very glad we connected, and I just appreciate so much that you came on. And everybody, I want you, John, to show you how to replay this tomorrow so you can read the comments.
What time is it?
It's a little after 12, so I know you're going to have to go to bed. We want you to go to bed and relax.
No, if people are still up, I'll stay up.
Okay, I don't want to stress you out, but march on, Washington.
I can stay up, in case there's somebody, like that could help. I don't know.
Right. So, does anybody want to ask any questions about how I know at Sierra you said something about.
I'm just cold. I feel a little cold.
Rosemarie. Cynthia said, Rosemarie, I've cried most of this time. I feel open. Carolyn, Ramblers, and moderators, thank you for tonight and other nights that I didn't talk.
She talked?
She came in the chat and spoke tonight. So this little girl deserves to live on in our world. You're never forgotten, Joan. So an army for Joan.
She cried a lot. Oh.
Yeah. Joan's law should be worldwide. Joan's Foundation will get the word out. So yeah, I want John to show you how to get in, because the chat won't be available right away because it has to process, but by tomorrow it'll be up there, and then you'll be able to read what the people put in there along with the replay of the video. And I think you'll be very inspired.
Another friend, he just got this new guitar,
mm-hmm.
and he was on his way out and in a rush, and something tells him he has to go and play his guitar, go back. He goes back, and he just strums it just a few. I don't know how to play guitar, so people that know how to play guitar, you'll understand. He just does, and some sounds come up, and guess what it sounded like? The sound of a butterfly, the wind behind the butterfly.
Wow.
Fluttering.
Oh my gosh.
And he just got emotional, and then he said, Rosemarie, guess what? He said, we could have a phone tone called the White Butterfly Guitar Tone, and people could buy it.
Yeah, and raise money for the foundation. Yeah, and a few dollars. Yeah, right. And
there you go.
Yeah, I mean,
So
yeah.
now he's getting people like really interested in it. To do something with it.
That's great. Yeah.
So we could have that tone. So it'll go like butterfly. something like that.
Absolutely. And say, don't have words, but my heart is full and overwhelming emotions, and I've been also crying, and I have been inspired to do what I can in my community.
Well, what you could do in the community is to get the school program. She could even get this child safety program. We could get that into the schools too. She could go to her like where at the Capitol, or even just her own community where they have, because like I don't know how it works, but each, like we have like the 39, like 39, like the area which is called 39. I can't remember the other word, but what it does is we have like assembly people, we have senator, and you could go to the senator in your area, you go to the assembly person, and you can ask them to sponsor a bill, and you have to talk to them about what you have in mind, and really, be clear of what you believe in, and bring it up to them. And then because this is what I did, and I had no idea of how to do a bill. So then what you do is you'll be working with the legislative aide, which is like an assistant to them, and that'll be your liaison, and that's the person you really want to make a very good connection with. Because then little by little you go each step to get a bill. So you could get the bill made into law if they don't have Joan's law in your state.
Right. And what are the states that have it?
Yeah, I don't even know. Maybe somebody who's good at research might like to find out. Okay,
because they were confused. Like when President Clinton signed it, wouldn't that have made it a national law in every state? No?
That's federal. Federal means federal. Federal means every state, but only federal property. So that means like a post office or a national park.
I see.
Things like that, yeah. And what else, John? And between two states, John said.
Okay.
And so that's pretty good, between two states. And then,
So, but
I could work with you on the phone.
Yeah.
Right now we're going for Paula's law. Expansion of Joan's law to under 18. So just yesterday, I'm working with the people that are in Brooklyn. That's where I need to get this bill on. So I'm just working to help the senator that is sponsoring it. You see? So then you have the advocate, and then you have the senator, and and there you go.
Yeah, absolutely. And so I know that New Jersey expanded Joan's law, right, for 18 and under?
Do you know how many years that took, everybody? That took 7 years.
Wow.
But it's never impossible. It's always possible. Always possible. Because what better way can we live our lives? Helping innocent children, guide them, to be good people, and then that helps our society.
I see. Okay, very good. I mean, a lot of people want to help, and we, we're going to stay in touch, you and I, and
another way I'm thinking, we could use help with the website. Our website needs work, and we don't have enough. We don't know. John does a lot. My son John, he's like the vice president, and my husband Michael is a treasurer, and John does a lot with the internet part, and it would be so good if we would know how to use social media best. We don't even do that great with Twitter.
All right, I want to tell them something. I want everyone to please go subscribe to the Jones Joy Foundation on YouTube. Please subscribe to them, because you guys have you have beautiful videos and they have hardly any views on them. So we've got to get some views and some traffic there. Please subscribe to the channel, share the channel, like the Facebook page, go to their social media, go to the website, and show your support that way. And get those videos, out there, because it's a shame. I mean, you've got videos with John Douglas in them, and they've got 100 views or something, and that shouldn't be. They should have, hundreds of thousands of views. So yeah, you already did. Good. Keep doing it.
Governor Whitman, Congressman Bob Franks, who was, there would be no federal law if it wasn't for him. there was also, I had gotten some awards, and one of them was through my high school, and that was like their 125th anniversary. And even there, I was so surprised that John Roberts' wife went to the same school I went to. So I met him. So I meet different people.
Yeah, somebody just said, listen to this. This has reached us in Australia, Rosemarie. I just messaged my daughter about your talk. She said she has read a book based on your story. I've sent her the link to watch this live. Thank you.
Wow. Wow.
See that?
Wow.
So,
Wow. What time is it in Australia?
I think they're about 20, almost 24 hours difference than us. So I think it's, what are we? It's like 12 in the afternoon there, if I'm not mistaken. I'm pretty good with that now. I can do all the, because and then you're going to get a lot of subscribers. And I think, I think this was great. And, I want to connect, keep in contact with you, have you back again sometime so we can talk about more things that we're doing. And if someone wanted to, like for your garage sale, if someone's like in your area, they can donate certain things to you for that too?
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. And they even have, like, say, some things that they want to, they don't want to give it to the vets.
Mm-hmm.
And they don't want it to go into garbage. And they could even send me a box of something.
Mm.
I could give you my address.
And yeah, I mean, we could get it to them, absolutely. So yeah, that's another option, and that's she does that in May. So if you have anything you want to do for that, or if you live in the area and you want to help sort some clothing and go there and help and donate, and you have your events on your Facebook page, right? With what's coming up.
Yeah, it's going to be the weekend after Mother's Day. I don't remember the date. Like I said, or the last weekend of May, if it rains.
Okay,
So,
and we'll promote those events too. Yeah, so to raise some awareness for them, and craft night for Joan. Yeah, absolutely. There's so many things. Yeah, when we get to
so many things. I mean, tonight we touched a lot of areas.
We touched a lot of people I think we're going to see big waves coming back from it. You know what I mean? I think good things are going to come from it. And, so I think we can be proud of what we did here tonight, right? And Joan would be proud. And Joan would be proud. I know she would.
I'd be proud.
Yeah. So I just really admire you, Rosemarie. I appreciate knowing you. I'm glad you're my friend, and and I think a lot of people are here too. And I'm going to cry, and I'm not going to look at my hair because
Oh my God. Oh.
because I cry. Yeah, but it's okay.
Look up. Oh, right there, where it really works. Look.
Okay.
20 seconds though, not 2 seconds.
Oh, not 2 seconds. You got to do 20 whole seconds.
Oh, but,
Okay.
Didn't it help?
Yeah, but they say I want you. You're an amazing lady. They say you've touched a lot of lives. So please have John show your mom how to read that back tomorrow, so she can see that. And we are gonna have.
We are working together. And it's like all positive energy.
Right.
So imagine what we can do.
Absolutely. And so they're saying, "Love you, Rosemarie." Thank you, Rosemarie. Thank you.
I love you.
So,
I love you all.
cried more than once tonight, Cher said.
You're there.
Group
You're here. See? I'm seeing all of it.
Yeah. So I think, we do a butterfly release, your sunset at Safety Fest at the Garden, Rosemary. Oh, you do a butterfly release?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's nice. I'd like to come down for that. You should tell me when that is, because I don't live far.
Where do you live?
I live in New York State now, but I grew up in Upper Saddle River, so I'm very familiar with the area. I've been, Hillsdale.
Michael thought you lived in California.
Oh, no. Oh,
Because of the time, 10 to 1.
Am I calling your son, this son is Michael or John? Am I calling him the wrong name?
No, this is John.
Oh, okay, good, okay. Because that would be bad.
The other one is in his apartment
Oh, okay. I thought, yeah, I've been calling this one John. If you were going to tell me his name is Mike, because I have a Michael too. If I had, gosh, and he didn't correct me. Yeah, okay, so I have the right one. Yeah, they're just very moved by the whole thing. So yeah, I mean, and I know there's a couple of other ramblers. I know probably Lisa D would come up for that, and she's out in Long Island, and so yeah, we'll stay abreast of the events, and then see what everybody else can do in their states,
And then
cities.
you could have even a table there so that people could know about your program.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, anything we can do to help. And Carolyn, can you ask Rosemary if she had any spiritual experiences like Sandra Rusak did? Well, she says she had the butterflies. Did you have? They want to know. Sandra Rusak, I explained to you. That's Shanann's mother. The Chris Watts murdered the daughter and the little girls. We talked about that, and she said that during the night, and I guess it was when Shanann was murdered, she said she felt something almost pass through her, and she heard her daughter's name, and it went Shanann, like that. And she said she sat up in bed, and she said something happened to Shanann, and it was very like, she said there was no doubt something happened to Shanann, but that she knew Shanann was at peace and Shanann was still around. Did you have anything like that? No.
I didn't. No.
Okay, that's what she wanted to know.
But
But
what I have
after you have the signs after with the yeah, that's Sarah. She has a lot of the signs afterwards. So butterflies mean
now
transformation.
why butterflies giving signs to others.
Absolutely, they say
But,
butterflies mean
yeah,
transformation.
Like a lot of big signs, like, really, oh my God. Like, like unbelievable signs. Unbelievable.
Yeah, and it's like I told you.
I think she must know she knows who she's doing.
Oh
I
yeah.
think she does. Yeah, I think Joan knows.
Well, it's odd because that video that I made, right, and I told you this, right? I made it, and because I had asked everybody, a lot of them didn't know about it, so I said, well, I'll make the video. And then somebody said, Carolyn, this book, right? This book came out, and it has the first 9 chapters are about Joan. And I said, you've got to be kidding me, right? And so I had the book, and I said, oh, I can't believe it. And I hadn't opened it up, or I had ordered it, I forget, because we were going to use it for a book club. And I had no idea Joan was in this book when we decided to use this for a book club, right? So I make the video, and then someone tells me the first 9 chapters are about Joan. So I was like, that is crazy, it's just...
Someone asked me today, that was someone from the Hillsdale Police Department that was watching some of it tonight. And in fact, some of my friends and supporters are watching it tonight. And so he was wondering how you got to know about me. And he was wondering, how we connected.
Mm-hmm.
So then I said that last April, you brought her case up, and then someone in your group said, oh, I just read the book, and then that's how it started, right?
Right, and then your son saw my video, and then you sent me an email, but, and that was like
yes.
Right.
Oh.
Now, yeah.
You know what I was just wondering? He saw your video. Did you ever think of getting in touch with me at that time?
I'm trying to think. I probably myself thought, oh, she doesn't want it to, you know what I mean? You've got to, I don't know. I thought maybe I did speak to I spoke to one of your sons years ago. Not spoke to them. I think on your Facebook page, I had asked something about the foundation, maybe back in 2006 or, a long time ago. And I had asked, I asked something about the foundation, and I know one of your sons answered me. And I forget what I asked. I might have said how can I get involved, or what events do you have, or something about, and so I was trying to get my toes in, but I think believe it or not, I'm shy. Okay, so I know, right? I know, yeah. But maybe I just thought, like, see, this is what I mean. Like, people don't know. Like, I think, oh my gosh, this woman has so much on her plate. She's not going to want to hear from me or, answer my email or.
Well, now you got to tell that story.
Right.
You
Yeah.
see that?
Yeah.
In my head, I'm thinking, if it was April, that's almost a year ago.
Right.
And then and why? So therefore, a lot of people are thinking like you.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, yeah, and I think that's what the case is why I'm saying, like, people are going to say, oh my gosh, she's doing all this lobbying around and she's going off to this university and she's not going to want to sit here and answer my email or talk to me about that. She's got way more important things, So I was thrilled when I got your email because I had a friend visiting from the UK and I said, oh my gosh, you're never, and she's, and she does professionally what, like John Douglas, but I said, you're not going to believe who emailed me. I said, Rosemarie D'Alessandro. And she said, are you kidding? And I said, yeah. I said, I can't believe it. I said, I hope that this will open up and she could have us on the show or something. She would come on the show and talk to us. And that's why I was nervous to approach you in the first email because I thought you might say, oh, no, I don't have time for that. That's, See, and then I don't know. But then as soon as I spoke to you.
What? You lose nothing by asking.
Right, I know. And as soon as I spoke to you, the first day I came on here and I told them, she's such a warm person. It felt like talking to my neighbor, my aunt, so right away there was nothing. I said we could have talked for hours if your iPad had not lost its battery, right? I said we probably still would have been on. So yeah, definitely I have to do that more. I guess there's always that little fear of rejection or whatever that someone's going to say like, oh please, I'm too busy, I don't have time, something like that. So.
Or be rude or something. Well, what?
Yeah.
Well, guess what? You just gotta take that risk.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you do, and that's taught me a lesson. So, yeah.
That's what has to change.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, reach out.
You could really talk about that.
Yeah.
Because you how you felt.
Right.
The other people will feel it's not just them.
Right. Absolutely.
Do you see this?
Yeah.
Huh? This used to be Joan's.
Oh, that was her scarf?
Her scarf when she was 5 years old.
Beautiful.
And you know what? I can wear it. See?
That's very nice.
You go like this and like that. And you have a cute little scarf.
Yeah. And I was looking at some of the pictures you have.
It doesn't look really that cute right now.
It's some of the pictures you have. I have some where you showed her toys and the cat and mouse game and that. I had, I looked at those and I said, oh my gosh, I had the same game as that, and the cat and mouse game. Yeah. I was like, I hadn't thought about it in years, and then I saw the picture and I'm like, I had that game. Or the picture where she's opening that Christmas present and she's just got that,
What was that doll?
I tried to look because I collect dolls and I still don't know which one that was. It was, somebody probably knows, but yeah, it was some doll. Yeah, shopping cart. She was so excited. You could see like she was like over the moon, right?
She was over.
Yeah.
And what about that Miss America doll?
The Miss America doll, right? With the
Do you have one?
I had more baby dolls. I didn't have. Later on, I got into Barbies. So I had Barbies, but I was more into the baby dolls like that. But yeah, I just you could see her joy when she opened that present. It was like, right? Oh my gosh.
Oh, here it is.
Oh, you have it there. Wow.
I just brought it.
Oh wow, look at that.
Isn't that the original?
Wow.
See what we did? We got this. Where did we get these from?
eBay?
Because I don't know what happened to hers.
Yeah, wow. Look at that. Wow.
Oh, here, look.
The
Same one, wow.
And that's that picture.
Yeah, she's putting the wand in the
That
hand.
was on her 7th birthday.
Oh, wow.
There you go.
Wow.
Doll.
That's very nice. Yeah, that's amazing. So, well, she's brought a lot of people together and, made a lot of...
Everybody could sleep good tonight.
Yeah, we're going to let you get some rest. And I thank you so much for coming on, and we will be working together and connecting, and hopefully we'll have you on real soon with telling you all the things that have, oh my gosh, all the stuff that has happened, and what we're going to do. But I'm just, thank you, John, for setting your mom up there.
Oh, he's with
And
me.
and please show her how to go tomorrow into there, and you just click on live chat, and you'll see the chat from tonight, and you can watch it along with the replay of the video and see everyone's comments.
Like a lot of people trying to get through.
Yeah, you'll see.
Did everybody get through?
Yeah, and then and still more people will watch this. You see, there's a lot of people that haven't watched it yet. They'll watch it on the replay, and then you'll see in the comments more comments that you can look at in the regular comments. But John can show you how to pull up the live chat on the video tomorrow. It'll process and it'll be there. But yeah. Yeah, so they said if they had awards for the best YouTube episode, MRB would win for this episode. Someone said that, yeah. They said this is the best.
That's like, they're really getting to understand.
Yeah.
That this story, is, what? Like I told you about her, right? When she was born, they said that. That's always happening.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And
she said she was going to be different. She's different.
Sure. I've been, yeah. And like I told you, before I came on, I was like a little nervous, because and I was on your foundation page. I saw her little picture, and I said, Joan, please help us tonight to reach people and to make a difference. And I'm sure that she has, yeah.
Some of the people, I was telling some of the people about you and my friends, and I said, you'll see. I said, to me, I said, she's like an angel.
Thanks. I'm not, but yeah, thank you. I mean, I try to do what I can, and I want to make a difference too for the future. I have little children. I worry about their future. I worry about all the children's future. We see the children that are harmed every day, and then covering the true crime that we do, and we feel helpless. So if we can do something to help, then we're all for it. Yeah, definitely.
I'm just thinking people could do also for Faye. They could send her something like a package.
Right.
And if they could send it to the police department, if they don't know the address.
Right. Yeah. I mean, yeah, to do something like that, absolutely. Because
They have to make sure though. See, in today's society, sometimes you have to make sure that it's okay. But
right.
The police could do.
Yeah. I mean, just maybe even people down there would want to make a garden for Faye, like one for Joan. Like people down there somewhere make a memorial garden for Faye, right?
Garden. They could do a garden. They could do the scholarship is different. They could do like a little playground. Yeah.
We had tried to do that, believe it or not, for you wouldn't believe this one, for some children. We had the mother whose ex-husband murdered their 5 children, okay, in South Carolina. Yeah. Oh. Yeah, Tim Jones. He was on trial last year. He's got the death penalty.
I don't remember.
Yeah. Well, he murdered their 5 children, and he was an IT guy and everything. And she came on here, and she said, Carolyn, I've never come on anywhere, but she wanted to talk about it. And what we wanted to do was make a playground for the children, right?
Oh.
And everybody was going to donate. And you know what their school said?
What?
We don't want it.
Well, they don't have to do it at school. Right?
I know, they said it would be a painful reminder of the children that were lost. We don't want it.
Well, yeah, but you heard what they did with the garden. They didn't want the garden.
Right, yeah, I heard that. Yeah, I know. It's sad, yeah.
Well, oh, really? Oh, well, that's,
Yeah.
So what? So then
they were even rude about it. I mean, rude about it.
What about the town? Does the town have a piece of property that they can get?
Right, and that's what we were looking into next. But I mean, it was it's shocking when someone says
it's awful. It's so terrible, so terrible.
Yeah.
That poor person.
Yeah.
Is there anything we could do to help her?
Yeah, I'm gonna look into it again because she had some kidney issues and she was in and out of the hospital, the mother, and so yeah, we had talked about somewhere else, but they made it so difficult and put such a bad taste in everyone's mouth about it because they were rude and nasty. It wasn't just that they said we don't want; they were rude and nasty about it. I mean, the emails that I was getting were just downright rude and nasty. They're just like, oh, if you came and you donated playground equipment, then you would have people around and we don't want any reminders about it. And, just like we've had enough sadness.
See, there you go. People don't want to be reminded.
See? That, yeah, right? It's a shame.
Maybe we could maybe something could be done where we go into that school system and, I could even talk to people there.
Yeah, I don't know if you...
Because, no, honey, you know what? There are people like that. And doing that to a person that just so raw like that, I mean, that is really... You can't tell me you're a caring person.
I know. I was shocked because
even though you say you are.
In the courtroom, when they testified, they were so caring for these kids that we thought, oh, these people are going to love this because they made a room. And then what happened was personnel changed. And I guess the new administration didn't want any of these reminders because it was so emotional, this whole case. And 3 of the children out of the 5 went to school at this school. And
do you have that story? If you could email it to me.
Sure, I will.
Maybe I'm not remembering it.
Yeah, it went on.
That is the cruelest.
Yeah,
That poor mother, and she came on your show.
Mm-hmm. And she was vilified. They told her it was her fault that her children died.
What?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Does she have support from the family?
She does. She has a good husband now, and yes, but she still has definitely post-traumatic stress from it, and she just can't believe how they went against her in court and said stuff, and they if the defense would have really attacked her, she broke down completely on the stand.
You know what they could do? Sometimes there's mental health centers.
Mm-hmm.
And they have they have a space, they have lawn. Maybe they could do something there and have something for her, some kind of memorial.
Yeah.
At a mental health center.
Yeah, that's a good idea. But she's one that she's very, she has a lot of anxiety. She had another little child, right? A little girl. And,
she did?
Oh yeah. After the 5, and she has such anxiety about letting her go anywhere just because something's going to happen. That's why I asked you that, because she she knows that she has to let her go. She's going to go to kindergarten, but there's a lot of anxiety there about letting her go out of her sight, kind of thing.
Well, but it's okay. She just could, do it. She, and she has to heal. That's
right.
Okay.
Yeah.
They could talk together and all.
Yeah. So I think we will figure out, but yeah, that would be nice, to have something to honor Faye, because I know the community down there came together, and it's hard, that their police have never seen anything like that, and it's very traumatic for all those involved to find her that way, and everything. So it's just it's hard.
This lady that lost the 5 children.
Mm-hmm.
Who killed them?
Her ex-husband. Yeah. I could tell you more about the story, but
you send it to me.
But yeah, it's a tragic case, and he was very intelligent and had a great job with an IT company, and then he started smoking these synthetic marijuana, and it made him get paranoid thoughts, and he just went nuts. He went nuts.
There must have been something in him too.
Oh yeah. But he got the death penalty in South Carolina last. This was just.
Really? You got the death penalty?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Yep.
Well,
Yeah.
how do you kill 5 babies?
I don't know, and he drove around with them in a van for like 2 weeks.
Wow, I don't know this one at all. No, I'm just thinking, like as far as for her,
Mm-hmm.
right? I mean, maybe we could say, we were talking about you and we just wanted to send you like some, like something, I don't know if she celebrates Easter for Easter.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I would donate.
Right, and I mean, we had people, because she wanted the baby clothes to be made into a quilt, so people volunteered to make her a quilt out of all the kids' clothing.
Yeah.
So yeah, so I mean, there were nice things like that done for her, and people reached out like that, so I know she appreciates that. But it's just like I felt so bad because we thought, okay, and we would put this playground together, and it would be something that she could take her young daughter on, but I mean, I never expected the reaction from the school. It really stabbed me like right through the heart when I got the letter, because it wasn't even a nice letter. It wasn't even nicely explained. You know what I mean? It was just nasty. So it really hurt. Yeah.
They have to be listened to a show like this.
Yeah. It's just it was a nasty response, but
But you know what? You know what? With what you're doing and getting everybody together, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And with this growth and all, and everybody wanting to do something, you know what? They're gonna be squashed.
Yeah, right. You got to keep doing the good, even though, right? Yeah, it just leads you in another direction, right? That's what I mean. You've got to just keep going and just keep doing the good, because there's going to be people, right? I was going to ask you, still there are evil people, there are horrible people, but there are a lot of good people, a lot of really good people, and I see that, and I've met so many through this, so that keeps me going. Even when you see like people just do horrible things, you can't let that jade you, because there's so much more good, right?
Well, there's good because you do something about it. You're standing up and do something.
Right.
You're not just staying there and talk about it and complain.
Yeah, absolutely. You don't give up. You just, find another direction. If somebody's nasty like that, then
It hurt, and it's very hurting.
Yeah.
And it's good and so forth. But but that doesn't mean that you're gonna get like them. You don't want to be like them.
No, definitely
So
not.
therefore, you don't want to be like them. Then you're gonna be doing something different than them and talking differently.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think they need some kindness.
Right. You got to pray, like they said, just like pray for them, that, because it's sad if you're like that, right?
You always pray.
Yeah.
Even though it's hard.
Yeah.
You pray for those people that you don't like.
Right.
Pray for each one. And then, because it's not up to us.
Yeah.
The judge.
Absolutely. Yeah. We can relieve ourselves of that, and then just, hope that something touches them, that they realize that I'm, not being a nice person, and then try to do something good with the people that want to do good and do it somewhere. So we'll find ways to.
If you talk to her,
Mm-hmm.
she might want to see the show.
Yeah, no, I know she does. Yeah, I mean, that's why we'll share this, and I'm sure, like, you'll see that there's going to be, you'll watch the views on it. There will be more and more and more, because people rewatch it. Some people are asleep that normally they watch it in the morning, and hopefully we'll reach a lot of people and do a lot of good.
It's good. It's good.
But I really appreciate you coming on, Rosemarie. And I appreciate that we got to know each other, even if I was a little bit scared, but yeah, just do it, and taught me a lesson, so that's good. And I appreciate your time and your son doing what he had to do to technically get you hooked up here. So, all right.
I think he's going to get a mic.
Yeah, he's going to have to get you a mic there. figure it out. You have to get you wired for sound there, right? But it was lovely.
Enjoy your sleep.
You enjoy your sleep. I'll get us out of here, and have a great sleep and a nice day, and we'll catch up and
night,
talk more.
everybody.
Bye. Love ya. Bye.
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 Okay. Let's see now. That was very nice. Hold on one second. Let me just... Okay, so you guys can still hear me. I think you can, right? I'll probably close this and open another, let me see, another live so that we keep this where it should be. But appreciate you guys all for coming here, and let's, like I said, let's flood their social media with subscribers, likes, shares, and get the word out. Yeah, Sandra. So I will close this up, and then I will open another one. I'm going to get a drink of water. I don't know what I'm going to have. Maybe I'm going to have tea or something. But and we'll talk about what you guys thought about this, okay? But I think it's very positive, and I think we had a good time. And yeah, absolutely. Thank you for Rosemarie coming. Thank you for John, her son, for setting her up. And everything is good. And Rosemarie's a little tired. Hope she gets in a good night's sleep, and that we didn't keep her up too late. And we will... Oh, I'm sure it has more than that, Carol. Maybe you need to refresh. It's got to have more than that. All right. So I'll see you in just a little bit. Limeade, yeah.